What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another week of Almost There. This your boy Vale, a.k.a. Smoke.
And it's everybody's favorite daddy, Papa Ye. Like that.
And this your boy Jay. No AKAs for me.
In the background, we got our young program director, Noah, a.k.a. Lord Darkskin.
And we got this right here with all these spiders in his head. Shoot the motherfucking shocker.
He put an H in there.
Yep.
Shoot. This nigga said
Every week,
shoot.
son. No respect. Every week.
Man,
Look how you looking at him.
Stop messing with lavish_King Smokey.
Man, it's lavish_King S.
Listen, y'all may know him as that. I know him as Soak the Shocker. Because it's easier for me to remember. Man, fuck all that. How's everybody week?
Well, I don't know, since you seem a little animated today. You know what I'm saying? You had a good day. What's going on with you?
Well, I'm just trying to maintain and everything. Coming off the real nigga holiday, I'm on vacation. And everything was going well up until last night. You know, I was having issues with my asthma and a terrible headache where I couldn't sleep. And on top of that, the compound with that, I lost a student. This is like the second student I've lost within a month. We're hearing that he had a heart attack in his sleep. A young man, 49 years old. So I would like to say I'm praying for his family's strength in the Lord. It's the Anderson family, and we're going to miss him.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Do you actually believe in God?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I just asked that, you know what I'm saying? I never really hear him talk about, you know what I'm saying, religious things or God or stuff like that. I see him, you know, with his ritual before he eats, you know what I'm saying? how he kind of
okay. Let me cut real quick. I flirted with being a Muslim, not a Nation of Islam Muslim.
A Shiite
or a 5% and stuff like that. So I flirted with the idea once.
And he held on to how you pray over your food. I mean, he like a stepper, you know what I'm saying? He be in there like one of the Greeks.
I would go that far.
So, man, I'm just saying.
No, I was baptized in the name of Jesus at the age of 15. I went to the same church that your mama and daddy went to.
Which church my mom and daddy go to?
Inspired Word.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
My mama, no, that was not my mom and daddy.
Well, your daddy was there.
My daddy went, my mama, they didn't never go to church together. But
no.
Jay, how was your week? I'm sorry.
My week was good, man. I don't know if it's just me, but since the hour that went up, it seemed like the days are just flying by now, man.
They are.
It's like I look up and, you know, the week is almost over, you know. So, aside from having a pretty fast week, it's been productive, you know. My week's always
dirty motherfucker.
Fortunately, I don't have any bad news to give you guys. You know, I'm not in the same situation as Papa Ye, so you know, I'm good. I'm good. How about you, Smoke?
My week was okay up until, you know what I'm saying, like recently, like today we had a big hiccup at work. You know, me being the super smart person I am, you know, we had to
bosses of all handymans.
Right, you know, either that or go be upset every week because one of the geriatric patients died.
See,
I
you didn't have to go there. You didn't have to go to see. You made the see. I was talking about your shoes, and you was talking about my hat, but you didn't want to start talking about my profession.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? So, but you know, I had to return some material to the stores. In order to do that, I had to go get one of the trucks. You know what I'm saying, to do it, back the truck up in the yard, and it got stuck in the yard. I mean, it's like 3 hours of digging this damn truck out to get it out the yard before I can even load it with the material I got to take back. And then once I finally got it out, now I don't have enough manpower to get it out because we just spent all day. So you can't just have people standing around paying them for nothing. So now it's me and one of Papa Ye students.
You know what? That's too
I got
soon.
one of Papa Ye's students, you know what I'm saying, over there with me.
That's too soon.
Loading this truck up, and it's like we loading drywall. We had a nice amount, but it's like every time we put one piece of drywall on the truck, he had to sit down for 5 minutes. It literally took me an hour to put 10 sheets of drywall on this truck.
Okay.
Problems that nigga that sit behind the desk don't have to worry about.
Is that a reply? Is that implied for both of us?
Hey, anybody who don't have to do what he does, you know what I mean? If your job don't require you to stand for longer than 4 hours, you good.
Man, so, other than that, what I'm saying, I got rescued a little later, what I'm saying, after I got half of it in there, my son came in and helped me out, so if it wasn't for that, I'd probably still be loading that truck right now.
Well, it sucked to be you today.
Yeah.
Today, yeah.
I did walk past you. You looked like you had got a little workout on, a little tone, a little thick around the shoulder and back region.
I was on that Papa Ye. No, I was gonna say on that Papa Ye diet, but he ain't eating shit but nuts and pause.
Pause that way.
Man.
That almost went on my head for a second. I'm like, I am eating nuts. Wait a minute, motherfucker. I ain't just eating nuts.
Probably ain't got a mouthful. He got a bag of nuts and dry bananas and shit.
Hold on, I'm gonna break it down. So my fiance
and I, flaxseed diet.
You know what it is? So look, my fiance and I, my sister-in-law, they talked me into this diet that I thought was gonna be a real diet. But what it is a detox person, 10-day detox. So every day we're drinking a different type of smoothie. But the base of it has flaxseed in it and whatnot. And today it came to my breaking point. I called her. I was at my weakest hour. I was like, baby, I can't do this shit no more. I need solid food. And she said, hold on. Just hold on one day. I said, fuck that shit. I'm going to Wendy's and give me a damn burger. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be right. I'm going to get a chicken burger. Do that help?
Hell no.
Right, that shit over. Hell no, you can't get no chicken burger. So I just went on and got me a salad. And what they talking about, I had this bird food. I had a tropical. Now get this right. A tropical mix. I had not freeze dried. What you call that? When they dried it. Not sun dried. Them raisins, them grapes into raisins. Well, they were in there. I had raisins. I had golden raisins. Pause, because and I had regular raisins. That's why I said
raisins have been pissed on.
I was just gonna say, were those packaged in R. Kelly's home?
No, they were not. I've never even been in that house. I don't know. And I got bananas in it and everything. And I had some cinnamon almonds, which were really good. Now, them things good. Yeah. And I had a salad today. And I told her, I said, well, you know what? If I can't eat my chicken sandwich, I'm going to get an extra piece of chicken in my damn salad. So at least I was eating that damn salad like a steak. But that actually brings me up to something. Remember I was telling you guys before the show that I seen something interesting in McDonald's today. Mm-hmm. Now, normally I don't eat McDonald's. I don't like their regular food. Everything gets me sick. But I am fond of their salads. So, everybody know the controversy about is McDonald's food real and everything, right?
You got some pink slime?
No, check this out, though. Because they've been getting so much negative feedback about their food being not real and the pink slime and stuff like that, apparently the McDonald's is the one out here in what's that? Not Blue Island, but Cal Park, right off 127. They're trying to go that extra mile to prove that the shit that they giving us is not the pink slime. You know how some McDonald's got TVs and stuff in it? Well, they have a TV in there, about a 50 inch on the wall before you order it. And did y'all know that Tyson Food make their nuggets, apparently?
Actually, I saw that it was an advertisement on the YouTube video I was looking at. Because I don't know if you noticed, but as a part of McDonald's marketing, lately they've been having those commercials of people walking up to those
kiosks,
asking like, oh, what's really in McDonald's food, or blah, blah, blah. All kind of crazy questions that people said about McDonald's, like about their chicken nuggets and all that shit. They have those, and they showed that Tyson actually supplies their chicken. And it's not all white meat, but it's like chicken rib. It's all chicken parts.
It's the dark meat, the white meat, the chicken rib, and all that stuff. But that's what but when they put it on the thing up there, it still looked pink slime. They said no, it's a bunch of starch and everything. I said they really trying to go that extra mile to show you that the shit that they giving you ain't really shit at all. But we can look past the shit.
I haven't eaten McDonald's in at least
since Harry Tubman came and freed your ass.
No, we got right after that. Right after that, it was probably about 16 years at least. And
Okay.
like, before that, I hadn't ate it in about good 6 or 7 years. And that time when I ate it then, my best friend, we and him together, it was late night. We had just finished working. And he was like, man, I know you ain't
What was
McDonald's.
y'all working on late at night?
House.
What?
By yourself?
They was playing house, and he said they was playing house. You said y'all was playing house?
I think he said doctor. I don't know.
Motherfuckers don't even say cooling no more, man. Tell your age. We was playing house. And I said I wanted some McDonald's. So he said, oh, why don't you get in my car? It's going down the street. So we went down there, and I said, ooh, can I have another one? So he got it for me, and he put cheese on that. He did that.
And then I died.
And then he gave me mouth to mouth and revived you.
And then I
So,
died.
you giving old people mouth to mouth?
I said you.
I'm old, right? Harry Tubman.
I said he
I
gave
mean-
you. I don't know. You the motherfucker playing house with another nigga.
That's what us old people do. I mean, ain't that what you teaching us in class before
That
you
ain't what I'm
kill us
teaching you.
off?
I'm teaching you to make emails.
That ain't what you tell before you kill us off.
You are an asshole.
You giving death lessons?
You are an asshole. I hope you live a long life.
You're gonna be
I feel sorry for your
investigated in a
mother.
minute, man.
How many you done had drop off this month?
I only have one this month and one last month, but it was
It's
indirect.
one a month?
Indirect. One was a DJ, a very respected DJ.
Oh, he was respected? That's why you
Very
watched him?
respected DJ.
Did he get more respect than you?
Listen. Let's talk about what's going down.
Let's talk about the music!
That's enough of this shit.
I just turned
They
today.
get me investigated. Last week they talked about I'm killing movies. This week I'm killing old people. I can't do it.
Oh,
Next week I'm in the back of the Chinese restaurant cooking chickens. Cooking
Chicken.
Oh,
chickens
my
and
God.
cats.
what happened when you fuck with ignorant people?
Speaking of McDonald's and the Your Health Kick, why is it that us as black men wait till if we're not involved in any sports or anything of that nature, like we wait until we're in our mid to late 30s to decide now it's time to get back in shape?
I hate to think that was directed towards me.
No, it's not just you, because our father, he actually waited a little later than you.
Anyway,
you know what?
right.
His was different. I mean, his was because he got sick.
But mine is. But you know what? Mine is now too.
His health concerns weren't really related to.
But I
his
think,
weight.
it wasn't related to his weight. But I think it was a thing. He got sick, and then the doctors weren't really helping. You know what I'm saying? And then when you go to the doctor a couple of times, it seems like they can't figure out. You try to do some stuff on your own, and a lot of people tell you, well, if you just start working out, you'll feel better. He started working out. You know what I'm saying? And he felt a little better, and then it was like he just took off with it. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like.
So, question. With that being said, can information be considered like a placebo?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yes.
Because it could be a negative placebo or a good placebo. I can't really.
What?
pronounce all right. I don't know. Shut up.
said
Yo, you
placebo.
said it. Good pussy.
It could be some good pussy
Placebo.
hole or some bad pussy hole.
Either way, you gonna get the pussy. Either way, you gonna get the pussy. So,
He like
pussy hole.
lick it and suck it.
Right, I like to lick it, I like to suck it, I like to eat it, I like to make bubbles in it. So, anyway, but I think it can be a good thing and a bad thing, because it's just everything that has something to do with your mind. Your mind is it's the strongest muscle in your body. So you know what they say sometimes.
Is it really a muscle? It's like
Your brain is a
battery.
muscle. It is a muscle.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it is. But you know how they
How much
say.
can yours lift?
You know how they say. Shut up. My shit lift planets, motherfucker.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
That's-
they
that's
do
what I'm
say
knowledgeable.
that the average human only uses 10% of his
That
brain.
was actually debunked.
Really?
That was actually debunked as of a couple months ago. We actually do use our full potential of our brain. That was just a myth that was started during, I think, around World War II. But they just debunked. They said, no, we do
Started around
use
the
our...
Captain America age. You know what I'm saying?
Literally, yeah, I'm not BSing, but that was debunked as a myth. We actually do use our full percentage.
Do you have any? Do you know how they debunked it?
They were doing some type of research and then going into like with Alzheimer's. because it's like each brain, you know, they say one side of your brain lobe
Each
control
portion of your brain.
each
Stop
portion of
being
your
a
brain.
smart ass while you talking.
You know, they say
I
one
thought
side.
I thought he meant like
Each
somebody
individual person.
right. Each brain. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay, this
you
thing
take
is
it-
interesting. Listen to what he got. Let me listen to what the teacher got to say before he killed me.
Damn, that's wrong. I ain't gonna be too many of your motherfucking murders.
Hey, you know what brought it in here? I'm having a bad day. I lost another one.
The way you say it,
He killed him for the insurance money.
I'm not even family. How am I gonna get the insurance?
They
Hey.
old. See now, you tricking them.
I'm making a listen. I know you're on your way out. Won't you sign this?
Sign it.
I get it.
What is this? What is this? What is it?
This is a pop quiz.
This is for your grade. Somebody pick up the phone.
This ain't no damn mush. This is dog food.
Oh shit! Stop it! Stop it, boy. Have more respect.
That's your ass. You see how listen. I want all y'all out here in podcast land to understand that this motherfucker here will drag you into hell with me. I love this food, man, but listen, I'm not gonna entertain your ass no more. I'm trying to talk about the brain.
Talk about it.
So anyway,
Preach, brother.
like with tests with Alzheimer's and stuff, they say a portion of your brain, which I guess is the part to where you remember is in the back, that goes out, but it's a large portion of it. That's like almost the whole left side of your brain or right side, depending on which
Can't
part
they
it
put
is.
some electrodes
So,
on there and stimulate the muscle?
They can put electrodes on there, but all that does is stimulates the, they have the nerves that go around the brain. It just stimulates all of that. And then also, they say it correlates to like with headaches. Your brain doesn't hurt when you have headaches. So your brain doesn't have pain nerves. It's just the stuff that's around it. So when they say I got the head injury, it's not so much of a head injury as far as with the brain. It's with
the
the
nerves.
surrounding nerves and what have you. Unless you just get a strike blow. So they say like you
Strike
got a strike blow, a strike blow.
Strike
That's
blow.
that new shit. That strike blow. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a drug, no?
It
But
sound like some sexual shit. I'm gonna go home and get some strike blow.
But they said your brain uses its full capacity. Like for example, quick one where everybody can know. Everybody gets stressed out from time to time.
No.
You've never been
I
stressed.
scream a lot. So I get in the car, like say if something going on,
But
you know how you can kind of tell before I get there what I do when I get in the car and it's just me. I get in the car and go, ah!
But you know that's a form of, that's still, regardless of how you cut it, that's still, I'm sorry, I forgot who I'm talking to.
That's
because
to keep me from getting
racism and
murdered.
prejudice and everything is different to him and his world. But that is a form of frustration or a form of stress. That's when your body has taken on, your brain has taken on everything. It's just the whole capacity of it. It's like, I just can't do it anymore.
That what your brain said?
That's what your brain says. It's like, I can't take it. I can't take it. It's just too much coming to me at once. Pause. But that's what it is. So it's like, well, that's a quick way of saying what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Take it out.
I hope that helps. I don't know I'm gonna be all over the board and everything. I hope that helps a little bit.
I mean, I kind of follow you. Kind of made sense.
Honestly, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because you a fucking asshole. You all the time about murders and shit like
I
that.
just saw him flailing his arms.
Man, hold on. First off, I want to say this, man. You know what? No, I should have shut up. I just want to thank Lee Daniels for the opportunity to let me be on the show. Because I don't want to mess up my blessings for June.
What's going on?
Yeah, you know, they cut me out the episode, but that's no fault of Mr. Daniels. I understand. I'm trying to play
He said
the
he was
game.
hard to work with.
No, he didn't. Because they cut out a couple other black motherfuckers.
Right, but they weren't hard to work
Listen, Lee Daniels are all right with me in my books. I'm waiting on that call back in June. That's all I'm going to say about that. Fuck Monique.
Hey, Monique, I ride with you, baby.
No.
That fuck
Listen.
Monique was from Papa Ye.
Listen, I'm trying to get a
Papa
check.
Yang only.
I'm trying to get a check.
Shit,
I'm gonna play the game.
Ain't the only nigga that can give you a check now.
Who I'm going to run to? Tyler Perry? No.
Oh, you
Might
want to
as
take time
well.
to check?
No, I wouldn't take his check.
What
I'm
crazy as hell.
I'm lying, I would.
Tyler Perry call us tomorrow and say, hey, almost there. We want to put y'all in the new Medea. I'm
I'm
right there.
You know they got the new one at the that's coming out in April.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
all that. But
Yeah,
this is
but-
what I'm saying. If Tyler Perry comes to spin that bread, like Stevie,
Well,
in
you-
my Stevie J voice, he comes to spin that bread. I'm taking that shit, man.
You know,
But to kind of get back on the on the subject.
Oh, that's what he was giving me that damn soliloquy about the brain. We were talking about health, right?
Right.
And why people wait till they get later in life to start trying to look after their health or take care of themselves.
And I don't want to say people, and I kind of want to generalize us as black men.
I think it starts out in the first that
we broke.
basically black men especially they don't have good insurance in the beginning when you first come out. You know what I'm saying? You have when you're younger you have your insurance because you're on your parents' insurance, so you get those little regular checkups because you got to get checkups while you're in school and stuff. Most of the time when you transition over into your adulthood, you don't have the insurance or the wherewithal to actually kind of do those things. First off, young men, we think we're invincible anyway.
Yeah. Or, where a lot of us are taught to, because especially, and this is very big on where you grew up, and if your parents had that money, get life insurance. Don't worry about health, get life insurance. Depending on where you live.
My thoughts on it are different.
Okay.
I believe to an extent, yes, if you're unemployed, no, you don't have the funds because health insurance is very expensive.
Yeah.
Health insurance is very expensive.
But what do you say about the people that say, well, you can get public aid. Go to the county.
But you know what? You can get public aid, but public aid is really for emergency times. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can basically...
Emergency times.
You can basically just kind of go in. Like, a lot of people with public aid, unless it's for a kid, they don't just go in for regular checkups with it. You know what I'm saying? It's more so like you've gotten hurt or there's something that's happened and you just need to see a doctor.
Okay, of emergencies and whatnot.
Yeah, well, before I was really interrupted, I was saying that...
Be quiet. He said I got the death touch.
Hey, man, listen.
Cool Modi. He hit him with the death touch.
My thoughts are if you are employed in, I would say, I've yet to hear of a job that doesn't offer benefits to full-time employees. Mm-hmm. If you are a full-time employee and you don't become a part of your job's health benefits package,
mm-hmm.
I think you're selfish.
Well, can I answer? I got a question.
Do what Papa A does.
What's that?
I mean, he waited till his woman did something so he can get on her insurance.
No, I didn't.
I remember you telling us that.
I never told you that.
Run the tape back.
I never told you that.
Run the tape back. Didn't that sucker say that?
I never told you that.
What did you say?
I never told you that.
You
I said I had insurance from a previous job. When I lost that job, I've been insurance-less. But because my fiance works for a insurance company, I'm going to wait until we get married in September, and I will be added on hers.
Is that what I just said?
Yep.
No, you said you saying it like I'm scheming, like I got this.
Scheming for that insurance.
Company you work for, baby.
It's like being a gold digger. Insurance, scheming for insurance is a valid thing to do these days.
No. If that was the case, I would have got it. If that was the case, I would have married her 5 years ago.
Well, technically, you don't have to be married to be on her insurance.
It's cheaper, but then it's a lot of red tape. It's a lot of red tape that goes into that.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Because of what she worked for and the paperwork she showed me, it's a lot of red tape. It's a lot.
Okay, well, I'll give you that. That may be their plan, but my job, where I work, because I'm not unemployed,
and it's more expensive.
I have a job.
I'm working. Don't get me wrong.
Oh no, I'm not saying you unemployed.
Three damn.
We talking to the rest of these scrubs out here, But no, with my job, any domestic partner you have, you can include on your insurance.
But like with hers, I think you have to live together for more than 2 years.
No.
And it's a little more expensive.
How can you prove the length of time that you stayed with somebody?
It all got something to do with
But see, living together don't necessarily mean you're on the lease.
But it all has something to do with insurance fraud and all that stuff. So
I can understand what it has to do with. I'm just saying, how can you prove that you stayed?
That is how you can prove it, at least.
But I'm saying, but what if I've been staying with you? I can been staying with you for 3 or 4 years.
It was the question you posed. The question you posed was, how can you prove that you've been living with somebody for 2 years? And you can prove that by showing the lease.
Or a mail coming to the house.
Okay.
Oh, I want to get back to your question about being selfish.
What?
Prime about being selfish when you got a job, don't have it. Prime example.
What?
Remember my accident, right? Remember my accident in 06. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Because he having a bitch fit over here. This is what's happening.
Are you gonna bring up an accident every fucking week?
But no, but this is the answer to his question.
Well, that's about your damn accident.
Remember when I got my accident in 06? Mm-hmm. I worked full time for a company, right? Young man in my 20s. I didn't have insurance, but you know why I did?
Because you was a young man in your 20s.
No, I couldn't afford it. I'm gonna tell you why. The insurance that they had, I'm not gonna name the company. If I would have gotten insurance, because it's a small company as well. Had I had gotten insurance, let's say I made $250 a week, right?
You weren't making shit.
Right. Let's say I was making $250 a week. It'll take half of that. And then I had car note. You know, I had that car at the time.
That sounds like.
And all that. And then I was paying my son's.
That sounds like you was they had you on as a private contractor. You was insuring yourself, like it wasn't through a company.
No, it was going through a major company, but that's how much.
No. When I say going through a company, I don't mean like going through an insurance company. I mean it wasn't going through your job.
Yeah, right.
It seemed like they had you. It's like
no, they were going through like what a normal job do. They would go. They got the contract with that company. With that major company, you go through the company.
What it sounds like at that point is it might have been funneled through the company, so it'll come out your check. But the company wasn't taking any of the overhead. The company basically was just using it as the shell, and everybody was you was insuring yourself basically. Okay. For them to be taking that much out, and they were taking they were talking about a week.
It would have been about half. No, I got paid every week.
And they were talking about taking that much a week. Yeah, the company wasn't taking any of that overhead on. They were just giving y'all the option of getting this insurance company through them. And they probably were getting a deal on it.
And so, you know, at that point, you know, I didn't have, like I said, I'm like, at that time, my daughter had passed, my son passed, so I had paid off their funeral things. I didn't have any bills, so to speak, but a phone bill and a car note, but I wouldn't have been able to sustain any of that had I had gotten that.
But they were taking that out every check?
Well, you know, with insurance come out what? They take a portion of it. And, you know, you pay a certain amount a month.
So then they were taking a lot of fucking money from you if they were taking half of your check.
Yeah.
You were spending like $400 a month on insurance.
Yeah, which is not unheard of when you, especially for people that don't have a job.
That is unheard of.
No.
Through a job or something. That's why I say the job wasn't taking in at all. When you insure yourself, that's about how that is.
But monthly, my insurance is only costing me, I think like $60.
But that's through your job.
Through my job.
See, your job matches.
What happens through the job is the job matches a percent of it, but then they get a break on the price.
I know how it works. You know, I know how it works. That's why I'm along the same lines as you. Is they had him as a private contractor, and I don't know.
Because I was a messenger too, so it wasn't like
they wasn't insuring.
Big,
they weren't insuring.
No, but I mean, barring any severe circumstances like that, if you're in a position to make sure that you have your health,
you should get it
right. And it doesn't make sense to say, okay, well, I don't want them taking $20 or $30 out of my check to make sure every time you go to the doctor. Some jobs have it so good where you don't even have to give a copay.
I know. I used to have that with the government.
You know, so
great.
And then even if you do have to give a copay, a $20 copay ain't shit when you go to the doctor compared to that freaking $200 you're gonna have to pay without it. You know what I mean? So
it's more than that sometimes.
I think with us as black men, I think we're too afraid of the bad news.
I can agree with that. I can really agree with that.
You know, it's a lot of things. You know, they say that the hospital makes you sick.
I agree with that.
Yep.
I agree with that because there have been many times where I've seen someone who had been sick. So what the doctors tell them when they go in and they're diagnosed, so they'll tell them, oh, you got stage 3 cancer, and 4 days later they die. But before they went to the hospital, they were fine. Before you went to the hospital, you wouldn't even know you were sick. You wouldn't even know this person was sick.
But that could be that placebo. I said it right this time, effect. Well, I say it can be good or bad.
But I don't think at that point, I don't think the mind is killing you.
But that does play into that because, like you said, you say like I know I'm sick, but then the way you describe it, your mind can play a part into that too. Like
I mean, as far as it can play a part as far as stress.
Make you
It can stress you out. But I honestly believe that there is something being given to you to ease you on out.
Oh, you think they're giving you that slow morphine drip?
You got a lot of Kevorkians in there.
Right.
It's something going on. I mean, because it happens too often.
I don't agree with it for this fact. what they say. There's no money in the cure, and I can't get money when you dead. Like, the longer I keep you in here, the more money we make. Like that's how the health industry works.
But I mean,
I can keep pumping you to keep prolonging you. So I don't think they're gonna actually do that part because of money wise.
Here's what I would say to combat that: people get sick every day. People die every day. So it doesn't matter if I keep you in here for 2 or 3 days, because guess what? If you leave today, your bed's gonna be taken up maybe 20, 30 minutes after you go. So I mean, draining you, especially if you got bad insurance, or we know your insurance is gonna take forever to pay us. We're gonna push you out here as fast as possible.
Get you up out of there.
You know what I mean? And as much as we hate to admit, well, I don't even want to say we hate to admit it, but money rules everything.
Yeah, he got my ass up at the hospital in a week. He's like, I was like, no cash? No, you patched up, nigga. We put you back on. Go ahead out of here. In a week. To combat that argument, I would say that people get sick every day. People die every day. People are born every day. Those beds aren't going to stay cold for long. They're always cold.
Yeah. So like I said, it's just as black men, you know, there's still that phobia that if I'm healthy now, but if I go to the doctor, I'm gonna get sick. Then there's also the fact of the matter is that I can't afford it to go to the doctor. And then you got to look at the fact that some of us just feel that ain't nothing wrong with me. I mean, you got to have a limb hanging off before they're gonna go see a doctor.
Well, that thing right there, I think, is more not just a black man thing, but a male thing. Period. I think all men think I'm fine unless, you know, my eye falling hanging out the socket or my damn finger. You can actually break your finger and not go to the doctor.
You can break your finger. Now you can cut your finger off and not go to the doctor.
Nah, if it come off, you going.
I'm gonna tell you, I've seen people cut their finger and it be hanging, and they'll take it like we on the job site. They'll take that finger and take some electric tape and a napkin and wrap it up and finish working.
It works every time.
And you know what? This just remind me of my uncle. Used to tell my aunt all the time.
Crazy.
My aunt used to tell my uncle too. She's like, "You need to take your ass to the doctor. You need to go." He said, "Listen, I got a dick. You got a pussy. I can see when something wrong with me. You can't." So when I see something wrong, then I'm gonna go.
Listen, that's a whole nother doctor trip for another show.
But just that's what he used to say. That's how he used to justify him going to the doctor.
Man, listen. I think we back to us as black men, we don't go to the doctor as often as we should. And I think a lot of times, as much as I want to blame the hospitals, when we go to the hospital, it's already too late.
It is.
You know what I mean? It's already at a point to where there's nothing that can be done.
Got a question, guys. Just change up a little bit. Have any of you ever, you know, when they used to ask us when we were kids, what you want to be when you grow up, right? Has doctor ever come to y'all? Or
I was going to be a doctor until sophomore year of high school.
Why?
Why did I stop at sophomore year? Or why did I want to be a doctor?
Both, actually.
Actually, when I was in grammar school, I just thought being a doctor was just really, really interesting. I mean, all through grammar school. I mean, I wrote reports on it. Run the little awards for essays about what I'm going to be. Did the job fit, everything until sophomore year. And what happened, I guess, was I hated school once I got into high school.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I hated school. It was school to me was horrible. Once I got to grammar school was great. I love grammar school, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't because the work was challenging enough, you know what I'm saying? I stayed in gifted classes. High school that first year, it was.
When you say gifted, do you mean gifted like helmet gifted? Or
right. I thought you were talking about
AP gifted.
Like AP.
Okay, not the thing.
Now we didn't have those classes when I was back. You know what I'm saying?
They had them when I was in school.
Yeah, but see, you younger than me, remember? I'm one of the people you killing.
Come on now. We were both in grammar school in the 80s. We were both in grammar school in the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You was just getting it and I was on my way out.
When you graduated out of grammar school?
90.
We both came out of 90-something, too.
Oh, 90-something. You know what I'm saying? You just want to be
like, get the fuck out of here. Tell your story, B. Shit.
So, but once it was like sophomore year, it was just, schools just started to seem like it was just dragging. I don't know if it was like I had, you know how like sometimes you get teachers who just don't care, I think. I'm saying like I had like two teachers that were
Was that the teacher like, I'm getting a check, so I don't give a fuck what y'all do?
A lot of teachers was like that, but I had like one teacher that was excellent, and it wasn't. I mean, I don't want to say it wasn't a class, but you know, it was choir. You know what I'm saying? The choir teacher was an excellent teacher, and my science teacher actually was an excellent teacher.
I would have thought, since you just said your science teacher was an excellent teacher, you would have stayed the course to become a doctor.
But it was the fact, school in general. I didn't want anything else to do with school, and I found out you had to the years that you had to go to be a doctor. I didn't want anything else to do with school.
Hold that thought. You. Nope.
I never wanted to be a doctor. I'm squeamish.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible stomach. Never wanted to be a doctor. I actually, when I was a kid,
Did you mean squeamish?
He said squeamish.
Did you mean squeamish?
He said queenish. So so anyway, this is. So this is his story. This is his truth.
Squeamish. Excuse me. I'm sitting here next to a motherfucker who didn't want to go to school. Now he want to educate me.
I didn't want to be, you know what I'm saying, the fans think you said you was queenish.
No, I never wanted to be a doctor. I was too squeamish. I actually wanted to be a firefighter.
Really?
Yeah. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a firefighter.
I never knew that.
Yep.
I never
Didn't
knew
know
that.
your brother like you thought you did.
I thought he always wanted to do something in sports, like sports broadcast.
Nah, they came later on in life. Like once I came into my own, like
Like at 12.
Boy, these old motherfuckers, no, they bro. When the next class you have?
Trying to give me kids.
I need new students now since I'm down.
Yeah, we can definitely. When's open enrollment?
This tomorrow.
Tomorrow. I'm gonna bring his ass up there.
I got a seat right for you too.
Do we need to
Next
bring?
to the window.
We on the first floor, so that wouldn't work.
Oh, you can't push me out of that one.
No. We literally like right there. That wouldn't work.
Yeah, but no, I never wanted to be a doctor.
I never wanted to be a doctor either. I always wanted to be an artist, and then that changed. I always wanted to draw for Marvel Comics. But the reason I asked you guys that question is, I didn't feel that I needed to go to school to be an artist. Even though I went to an art school for college, I ended up transitioning into computers and what have you. But I never felt that if I wanted to make it as an artist and draw Wolverine and everything like that, that I needed school for that. So, hearing you say...
When you say school, what do you mean?
Formal training. Any school that gives you the certificate, diploma, hey, you got it.
Even like an art institute or anything like that?
Even in the art institute. Because I always felt that the how do you say that the talent, you know, you can't, some things you can't teach. You can't teach somebody. I don't believe you can teach a person to be a singer. They just got that passion. Now you could probably teach them how to hone a note or something like that, but you can't teach a natural singer. Your sister, in my example, is a natural singer. You can't teach that. I don't think nobody taught your sister that.
I can agree.
I don't think nobody nobody could have taught me to one day wake up, watch the Ninja Turtles, and I'm able to draw it verbatim without touching it on the screen. You know,
So you didn't take the paper and put it up to the
nope,
screen?
I never did that ever in my life. I never did that. And I don't think that anybody can teach this motherfucker right across from me to get his waves the way that he got them. To spin and to brush it with the precision. That's a talent.
Spinning now.
That's a talent. So I guess what I'm saying is, do you need school to be successful?
And short answer,
I want this is how I want it from you guys. I want pros and cons and an opinion, and like your main opinion.
What?
I want pros and the cons. I want pros of
That's
going to
not
school.
a pros and the cons question.
That is a pros and a con question.
no.
No, the way I where I said it. Okay, just give me the answer then. I went a little bit too far. Then.
Okay. All right, he was excited.
Okay, yes I was.
Gotta pull it back.
Well, I'm a
son.
teacher now. So, various things that I do.
Oh,
I don't think you need this shit, but come to my class.
The old folks need it. They need it.
They need to learn how to dive. Y'all sticking around too long. Make way for the youngest.
I brought donuts for everyone today.
Shit, he killing the diabetic.
Nice.
Taking the cholesterol up.
You know what? Ain't gonna be too many of your Dr. Kevorkians. Anyway, answer the fucking question. God damn it.
Bless you.
Thank you.
The death sneeze. Better move. You know, Applewhite sneeze is a nasty smell.
Man, be
Like a
motherfucker.
motherfucker. Shit ass and Cheetos.
You like, God damn, was that? I sneezed in the car one day. Got out, got back in. Was mad
Was
at
that
nobody. Mad at nobody even. Who the fuck? God damn.
God, go ahead. I'm sorry. Answer that question.
In short, no, you don't need school to be successful. I hate to use these guys as examples, but I mean, you can look at rappers, you can look at singers.
Most rappers went to school.
College. A lot of rappers went to college.
A lot of them
Did they need it though?
I can guarantee you there are a lot more that didn't go to college that did.
But a lot more that are more
Okay.
well known.
Nah, I didn't go to college.
But schooling is not what made them well known.
Right.
I think. See, the thing
They
about
got
that
cool
is
kids
to
out
say
of high
that
school. Cool
you don't need school.
Nah,
That I think I don't want to say.
I'm not
it's case
saying
by
you don't
case.
need school, but I'm saying you don't need it to be successful.
I can agree, depending on what it is that you're trying to do. Well, and see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I need to say you need it is strong.
But you
Saying-
need to go to school to be a doctor.
Yes.
You see?
Well, you need to go to school to be recognized. You know what I'm saying? As a doctor, just like with being a lawyer, you need to go to school to be recognized as a lawyer.
Because you can't practice without
But there are people who can actually present some arguments at times better than the people who went to school for it.
Yeah.
You know, I think the thing is it depends on the field that you're in, and if we take away doctors, lawyers, anything that you need the degree in, if we take that away, and then we say just like saying with music.
Okay.
You could be naturally. I mean, I don't mean singing and rap. I mean just like the music.
Just naturally talented
Right.
with music and arranging and all that.
I'm not on the same page as you because success, I believe, is what you make of it or what you feel is
Right. Well, see, that's why I was saying the thing about the word need. I wasn't gonna say that you need to go to school to be successful. I said sometimes it might help, and when to take a course or something to kind of help you along with some of the stuff that you're already gifted at. But I don't believe a person needs school to be successful. I don't believe everybody's built for school. Some people are not made to. Some people are not made to go to college. College is not for everybody.
I agree.
I do believe that some of everybody should at least get that experience to go to a college. I think the just going out there and meeting those people sometimes, the friendships that you can make sometimes is a better experience than actual the
structure
part.
of the classroom.
Well, my take on college, being a kid coming from being in a home and going away to actually it being my first time being on my own, college itself, as far as as a whole, I would say, to me is more of a life lesson.
Mm-hmm.
I think the schooling to me and going away for college is a plus. You know what I mean? The education is a plus. You know what I mean? It sounds weird to say it that way, but I believe that the life lesson you learn is way more valuable than that diploma that you get.
Because I'll talk to a lot of people that went to college and degrees up the ass, and they'll try to go get a job, but then they'll say, they told me I didn't get the job because I didn't have experience. I lost it to Joe Blow over here who didn't go to school for what I went to school for because they got the experience. And it's like, and then they say, damn, I would have just went to the job and tried to get a job before I went to school to try to get the experience if I knew this was going to happen.
Well, a lot of times people, when you, and these arguments may sound really stupid to some people, but a lot of people go to school and they rack up these degrees. You know, you get your bachelor's, or you get your associates, then your bachelor's, then you get your master's, you get your PhD, and you just got all these degrees, and at some point you go looking for a job, and then they'll tell you, oh, you're overqualified, which I think is the dumbest shit in the world. How can you be overqualified for a position? To me, is ignorant. But I mean, like I think at some point, as an individual, you have to define success. You define what success is in your life. So if success is getting through school, success is getting that bachelor's or that master's or that PhD, you've accomplished whatever it is internally that you felt you needed to become successful. You know what I mean? I think it depends on the person. It depends on the person. Me personally, I don't believe that you need a diploma to measure your success.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that you need a diploma to say that you are successful. There are many different avenues to make a living, a successful living, and a lucrative living, you know, without gaining that college
That
diploma.
piece of paper.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't have a college diploma.
And
Like-
you have your own business.
Like, I don't have my degree at all.
See, I don't have a college diploma, but I do have degrees. I still went to.
But you still, that would still can be considered a college diploma though.
I still went through school. Like I went through construction school. I mean, I
You
did
apprenticeship and all that.
apprenticeship. I did mechanic school. I did
But-
multimedia.
But check this out though. Mechanic school, I understand you went to, but you really actually didn't even have to go to the apprenticeship.
I went through the apprenticeship because
Because of the family.
society mandated I go through the apprenticeship.
Oh,
in
before
order
you
get your license.
to become. I went through to become a journeyman carpenter first.
Okay.
So like to go through to be a union worker, so like that, I had to go through an apprenticeship. Society mandated that, but honestly, it's not like I learned anything there.
Because you had already pretty much knew it. Because of
Right.
our family, your father, my grandfather, and everything, your uncle. So it was a skill there. And that's how I felt as far as with art. That's how I felt. And even now, unfortunately, I would have loved to have finished college, but life gets in the way sometimes. And I had a lot of things going on where I had no choice.
I think
I had
that's
to
the test
stop
with college,
going.
though. The test with college is to see if you can handle it when life gets in the way.
But see, mine was a little. It's just everybody has a different extreme. Like
Please
the
don't go
point.
back to this accent.
No, I had been finished with school. I didn't even have to add the accents. Remember at that time when I was in college, I had a son. My son passed away. I took a little break, went back. A year later, I had a daughter. My daughter passed away, so I had to pay these bills. I had to pay these medical bills, and I still had that same job. So it's like I got to pay this.
You ain't had no disbursement check coming from college?
That was a little something, man.
That's why people go to school. People
was
go
a
to
little-
college. Don't let it fool you.
It was a little
wait,
check.
Wait, now, this is the big misconception about those refund checks when you in college.
Yeah, it's
Everybody does not get a refund.
not
check.
everybody. And then when I got mine,
That's for people who get financial aid, right?
Yeah,
But not
I got
everybody.
financial aid when I was in college, and I didn't get a refund check.
The
It depends on how much your loan is.
Yep.
You get a refund check if your loan for that semester
Was overpaid.
Exactly. So if your semester is $10,000, if you're paying $10,000 per semester and they paid out $12,000, you're gonna get that surplus. You're gonna get that $2,000 extra. That's your refund. Everybody doesn't get that.
Now-
Depending on how
Mhm.
who's financing you, they may just pay whatever it is at that point, and you don't get that extra for what it's supposed to be used for your books or whatever the case may be.
you know what I did when I got mine? Because an old white guy taught me. He said, listen, you want to pay your loan off early? When you get that refund, yeah, it's yours, but you still got to pay that back. He said, listen, just send it back to him.
That's the dumbest shit in the world, honestly. Because if you send it back to them, you're gonna have to pay it back anyway. You might as well get the shit that you need at the time to maintain. Because college books are fucking ridiculous. And this is another. I would say, I don't want to say con.
No, it's a con. Go ahead.
When I
I'm gonna
say
add to
con,
that.
I don't want to say con as far as like
It's a con.
No. This is when I say con, I mean more like college gets over on you at this point, because you pay all this money for tuition, you would expect to get your books and shit included in that. You paying this university $10,000-$12,000 a semester, so you're looking at damn that $24,000 a year, and you're not getting any books, so you have to turn around and spend another $1,500 to $2,200 on books, which is a ripoff.
It's a damn jip because I went to school for computer science and low-level networking. And you know, the technology.
Low-level networking?
Yeah, low-level networking. And you know, technology changes every 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So the book that I got at the beginning of the class, that book can probably be it could be on its 5th month, but my class has just started. I paid $1,200 for this book, but midway through class, I got to spend another $1,200 because I have to get the new version. That's the jip.
Well, see, it all depends on who you go to school with too, because at my school there was always somebody that hustling, making their own money. So
Right.
you have the guy that will photocopy his copy and sell it to you for a lot less than what the bookstore was going to sell it to you. Oh, and
Oh yeah, the
let's
bookstore
not
selling.
talk about the bookstore
Yeah.
because the bookstore in college is like fucking GameStop. Like,
Yeah, it is.
You gonna go buy a book from them for $300 and you sell it back, they only gonna give you $57 for it. So that shit right there is a ripoff. And then certain books you buy that, like you said, it'll be good for this semester, and next semester you can't use it.
So it sounds like you're saying we don't need higher learning.
I'm not
No.
saying you don't
What is
need it.
high? What
I'm
is
not saying you
higher?
don't need it,
Like-
but I think you know yourself. You know the career path you're gonna go in. If your career path dictates, or your career path in society dictate that you have X amount of years in school, or you have this diploma, or this degree, or this certificate, then at that point your hands are tied. You have no choice. You have to go through it. But everybody doesn't fit that mold. Everybody isn't going that career path. So to tell a kid whose aspirations are to be an artist that you need to go to school or you need to get this to in order to succeed is bullshit.
Right.
What, you don't think they need to get any? You don't think they need to get any type of education to succeed?
I think honestly, and this is gonna sound really stupid to a lot of smart people, but I think the knowledge that they would need would come more along the lines of a business aspect and not academic. I think obviously you're gonna need your basics. You're gonna need to know how to read. You're gonna need to know how to write. You're gonna
Which is
need
what
to
you
know how
learn
to
in
add
grammar
and
school.
subtract.
And it's a book that I read that was very good, and I agree with this. It's called Everything I Need to Know in Life. Everything I Need to Know in Life, I learned in kindergarten. I learned my first name. I learned my address. I learned how to count 1 to 10. You should know that. Some of them should know that before you get to school. But in that age, that's how the book's stating. Like, I learned everything I need to know in life, I learned in kindergarten. And I agree with that. Prime example. Prime, I'm gonna be like this. Not even just kindergarten. I'm gonna say grammar school as a whole. I'm gonna say grammar school as far as academics, academia, how they say it. Put like this. I don't want to be a carpenter, right? You're a carpenter.
Okay.
I know I don't want to be a carpenter, so why in the fuck do I need to know geometry?
I agree. I honestly agree that there are things in school that you learn that you will never apply to your
Right.
life later on.
Mm-hmm.
However, there are things that, depending on your career path,
Right.
you may run into.
I think everybody, no matter what your career path is.
Need geometry.
Well, I mean, I'm a math head, so I think everybody.
No, I like
everybody
math.
needs
It's cool.
You need geometry. You need geometry when you're shooting pool. So, but what
Who gonna sit there and say, okay, the obtuse triangle of me putting this ball
You actually
in
do
this
it
hole?
unconsciously.
Yeah,
But
unconsciously you do.
because you've been taught geometry, it's an unconscious thing. When you shooting pool, everything, the angle you set the angles.
Because
and
I go
everything.
down there and I do set angles when I'm shooting. I
Yeah,
look,
but you do it
but I don't-
unconsciously. It's not like you say, "Oh, I need to shoot an obtuse angle right here.
Right.
I need to shoot this one acute.
Right.
This one needs to be a right." You know what I'm saying? It's just, I need a polygon up now.
Well, let's do this.
happens.
Let's change geometry.
But what
Algebra, scientific equations.
algebra is critical thinking.
This motherfucker got answers for everything, don't it?
It's the truth. Algebra is critical thinking. Algebra helps you to think your way through problems. See,
Well, you can say that about reading comprehension if you want to go on that route.
reading comprehension, I mean, is not basically critical thinking. It helps you to understand what a person.
But
is
you
saying
have to
you.
understand that's a critical thought. You have to. Some people you have to.
So you didn't do your algebra.
I need to do algebra. I actually after
What I
sophomore
just
year got an A
said
in it.
was the difference. Algebra helps you think through problems. You know what I'm saying? To think outside of lines and to help you come up with solutions. Reading comprehension helps you to comprehend what a person is saying
Right.
to you. And so there's a difference in that. Just because I can understand what you're saying to me doesn't mean that I can think my way out of the problem or the situation that you're in. Algebra helps you do that because it makes you think outside of the lines.
Listen, I need adding, subtracting, dividing, and multiplying.
Yes.
Fuck all that other shit.
Those are the basics. Honestly, those are the basics. Reading, writing, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. Those are the basics.
And then I believe, me personally,
That's because you're a carpenter.
I wasn't going to see you don't even know what I'm trying to say.
And then you want to be a doctor, so you needed algebraic
You
equations.
don't know what I'm trying to say. I mean,
I
what
do.
was I gonna say?
That you the biggest
Cavorting.
asshole in the world.
Come on, doctor.
Come on,
You the biggest asshole. Don't make me give you that death touch.
Y'all, my fault. Mo D. Nah, but what I think, and now actuality, I think everybody, no matter what your career path is, I think everybody should, after high school, or even during high school at some point, they should take a credit class
Yeah.
and some type of business class.
There are no credit classes.
Well, I take it back. It's
No, most colleges have courses. I mean, because I don't mean like a whole year, but a course or something is something. Whereas your credit is taught. You know what I'm saying? Like the importance of credit, how to keep your credit, how to maintain your credit.
Oh,
how to
credit. Okay.
I don't know that there are any
Yeah.
of those classes.
Actually, I attended one.
You mean not in? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not
any
talking about.
institution.
No, I'm not talking about like in
Banks,
school.
at
Like,
banks
I don't-
and whatnot.
Right. It doesn't have to be like go to this college. I'm just saying.
Okay.
This is what people need. I'm saying it. Like say me when I came out of high school, I know I was not going to college. Right. So like okay, once you kind of know that point, you still have to have a plan for your life for where you're going. So even if you say okay, I'm gonna start up a little business, I'm gonna be a baker. You know what I'm saying? I like cooking. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set up me a bake shop. Even if I'm gonna start it out of my house. You know what I'm saying? You still need to know how to manage your credit first off, and you still got to know how to run that business because just because you know how to bake the cookies and stuff like that, you don't know the business model for that. So I think you need to take up some type of course. It doesn't have to be a 2-year. You don't have to go to a 2-year college and get an associate's in business. You know what I'm saying? But you should at least take a class to get the basics of it because everything else, all you really need it's the same thing that Papier was trying to say with everything with the book saying everything I need to know in life I learned in kindergarten. Basically, what that book is telling you is once you get the basics to something, everything else you learn it's by trial and error. Because a person can like Bill Gates, he's a pretty good businessman. His trials are not going to be my same trials. So if I go to him and he tells me how to step through life, you know what I'm saying, we're going to come into different obstacles. And I have to maneuver those obstacles differently than he maneuvered his obstacles. He can give me the basics. After I know the basics, then it's time to sink or swim on your own.
Yeah, it's that old ball sense is better than toe sense.
Yes.
And going to the courses, they have this app. I don't know if it's on the Android. It may be. But on the Apple phone where they have actual
Why
courses.
you have to sneak this to Android?
I said I don't know if it's on Android.
Exactly.
I don't have Android.
So you didn't have to
so
put
I
that
say
out there.
I
You didn't
don't
have to say
know.
nothing else. You
Okay.
just said it was an app.
Listen, ass. It's people on here that has
Paul,
Androids, and there's people on here that has iPhones.
Yeah, but all you had to say was there's this app. You
But I have to say that.
Android.
I have to say that.
Ain't nobody even asked you if you
I
had
have to
an
say
app.
that. I have to say that. You sound like you jealous.
It sounds like you trying to showboat. You got an app. It ain't. You ain't got the six.
That sound like a hurt man right there, don't it?
I might be a little
It
hurt.
sound like a hurt man right there. Anyway, hold on. Before you say what you're gonna say, if I was rudely interrupted,
I don't think that was rude.
it was.
I think it was rude of you.
Death touch, motherfucker. Shut
Okay,
up.
I'm done.
So anyway, it's called Concorsa, and I actually take a few of these courses. It's free courses. I do a movie theory course, and these courses are from real professors at big name schools. Some of them are from Harvard, some of them from other places, and you actually get credit for free. And you have assignments, and it's like almost like an online class.
What's it called?
Concorsa. Concorsa.
Can you spell it?
I'm not about to show that.
Sounds
I went
like
to
freaky shit.
I went to a public school in Chicago.
No, I'm only asking you to spell it because there's an app on the Android,
Uh-huh.
but it's called Concourse.
Well, I call it Concorsa. It's Concorsa on here. That's when I
That's
first
the
seen it.
nigga for you, boy.
Yeah, I call it Concorsa.
That's the nigga for you.
Just like Shaniqua.
It's two of them on here. See,
So it is. Where are you at?
the top.
They may have changed the way it looks, but that seems like it is. I know that's Concourse right there, but mine is actually I can pull it up on my phone and I can show you.
Well, I kind of want to backtrack a little bit while y'all doing this little research.
Okay.
I want to go back to you and how you were saying that you weren't able to finish school because of a lot of things that you had going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to
Money wise.
I don't want to pick just at you, but I think that is an excuse
It is.
because when you really want to do something, you find a way to get it done. And I'm not saying that you didn't really want to finish school, but a part of you didn't.
No, I did.
No,
But-
a part of you didn't.
No,
Because,
I
listen,
did.
I know you.
I did.
I know you.
I did.
It's whether you want to admit it or not, because I can say the same thing about myself because I didn't finish college either. Well, I mean, I might sit around and say, yeah, I really wanted to, and then the vast majority of me did want to, but there was a portion of me that didn't, because if I did, I would have done it, and I know you, and so I think anybody who uses anything of that nature is, as far as why you couldn't finish something, you're using that as an excuse.
Now,
for example,
hold on.
Wait, let me get this out. My best friend, she became pregnant sophomore year of college. Had her child, did not miss any time in school, and finished school on time. So when people say, "Oh, I had a kid and I had to go back home," and they use that as an excuse, I think it's bullshit.
But see, I didn't use that. My excuse was my children passed away. The money I was making, I couldn't afford to pay for school anymore.
Are you understanding what you're
doing?
No,
I feel what you said. Like now, I can now. But look, now I can go back to school because I can afford it. So and that's what I'm going into doing. At the time, I couldn't.
For now.
Well, I actually want to get my degree. I actually want to get my degree in network science.
Why?
Because I want to actually, like with some of the places, I want to do what they call that. What is that? No. I'm trying with the Oracle systems.
Okay.
And they do a lot of network security and whatnot. But because of their criteria, I can't just say, hey, I looked it up on my own and I know what I'm doing. I can't go out there and say, hey, I'm fluent in Oracle systems. I have to be certified by Oracle systems. But I have to take an official course first. So we're actually looking into
Java,
that.
right?
Yeah, the people that make Java. Oracle is the main people. Everything you use now has Java in it, and I want to work. I want to be an independent contractor through them. So I have to now. So I've been actually looking at a few places because I'm at the point where I can actually afford to go back to do it. At the time, I give you that. After my children passed away, I was you was there with me. And the little money that I was making, I couldn't afford to pay for school. I had to pay for funerals and all that, and no insurance.
Right.
You don't get insurance for babies that say alive for a few hours. So it was a lot of money, and then all that money I had to pay out with court and all that other stuff. So at that point, I was a little discouraged, not from school, but because I had great grades. I was just in a dark place.
Yeah,
so
and I understand that. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. We all get into our moments, and we all have, I guess, dark periods in our life. But honestly, I think that we use those things as crutches. And I'm not picking at you.
No,
I've done the same thing. I think we all use those things as crutches. And at some point, we all are going to have to say, you know what? Fuck it. This is my dream. This is what I'm shooting for. No matter what happens, I'm going to stay on this path and I'm going to get it done. You know what I mean? So, and that kind of goes along the lines of whether or not you need schooling. If you want to go to school for something that doesn't necessarily require you to have a certificate or a degree or whatever the case may be, and you're going to go through those hurdles and those up and down moments, those valleys and peaks, you're going to have to stay the course.
Because I felt like all the top artists, I'm going back to me wanting to be an artist, all the top artists at the time, especially my favorite one is Alex Ross. He does a lot of art through oil painting, like all the superheroes. He actually did one that you would like. I actually have it called Kingdom Come with DC superheroes, and they got Batman and everything.
I'm sorry. It's everything you say, because I know you, I automatically think it's a porno.
Oh, no. Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come. Superman, Batman. They do actually have porn about Batman. No. But at Alex Ross, he originally, if I'm not mistaken, he didn't finish college. But he was a natural drawer from the age of 8. His father used to take him to the comic book conventions a lot. And he just kept drawing. Got older. Him, Jim Lee, not Stan Lee, but Jim Lee did Wildcats, and he did a couple of the Justice League and X-Men. All these guys, especially now, him and Jim Lee are considered icons in the comic book industry. And they're barely in their 40s. Neither one of these guys went to college for art or anything like that. They just stepped out on their dreams. It's a natural talent. And they went out and they became these big icons now. So me, because I'm very confident in myself, especially when something I know I'm good at, I was like, man, I don't need to do that. So I changed my focus into computers because it was challenging. And the realm of the computer world that I wanted to go in, like you said, because society dictated I had to have this particular license to do it. And along the way, I got kind of disinterested in art. With me, if stuff come too easy, I'm disinterested in it. I want a challenge, and computers are giving me a constant challenge. So I'm kind of with the whole debate. I'm kind of yay and nay with it. Like I said, it depends on what you are going into, like as a career wise and whatnot. And then I agree with you too. Even if you don't ain't about to go work for nobody, you came up out the womb. You know what I'm saying, a boss. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You still need.
You came out the womb as Dame Dash.
Right.
I came out meat.
I agree with you as far as you do need a course in basic business.
Yeah, I think
things
as
like
far
that.
as and I
money
I don't
handling
even
in
think,
general.
I don't even think you need a formal course. I think if you were able to sit around with someone who's been successful in whatever, in business, period. If you've been able to sit around somebody in business and you can pick their brain, I actually think that would be more valuable.
You can say like an apprentice. That can be like an apprenticeship or an internship.
I believe everybody should have a formal course in business, and I don't mean like a 8-week course. I don't care if it's just an 8-hour course. I believe everybody should have a formal course in business because, especially people who try to work for small businesses. Because at some point there is no respect for small businesses through some employees, and I can only talk about the ones in our neighborhoods because you know what I'm saying, those are the ones that I have dealings with. When you see it on TV, small businesses work great. You know what I'm saying? The employees treated like a real business, you know, and there's no disconnect. I think when it's in our neighborhoods, since a lot of people who work for the small businesses, it's a last resort. It's because they don't have one of the big shops to employ them, or they couldn't get employment, so they know somebody who has a company, and it was like, hey, I need a job, and that person put them on, and they treat it like a hustle. You're saying they don't respect the business model. Like they want to get to work late. They don't understand like the small business has overhead and things like that. I think that's one of the things. Whereas if they had at least an 8-hour business course where they had to pass this course, it would probably put in their head that, okay, there still is overhead. I still, you know what I'm saying, got to work for this money. There's still a structure.
I think your mindset comes from you being an owner.
That's correct.
I'm thinking more along the lines of a worker. I think, and maybe I'm thinking more along the lines of myself, just me.
But you're speaking on the general population.
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't want to speak for everybody else, but as far as speaking for me, I feel as though a one-on-one with a great business mind would be way more valuable than sitting in a classroom where I don't feel as though or not even a classroom, in a seminar hall where I'm not getting the one-on-one attention that I think I deserve.
That's because it's for two different reasons. See, the one-on-one with the business project is actually kind of so you can learn how to run a business.
Not necessarily.
In your situation, it is. Your one-on-one is to get that information because your mindset is not to work for wherever you're working at. You know what I'm saying? For the long haul. Your mindset is actually to step out in front and be doing something for yourself anyway. You know what I'm saying? So to sit down with a person who's already doing it would help you take that step. What I'm saying is for people who still gonna work for somebody else so they can understand how business works, you know, on every level. Because a lot of people, when they go into small businesses, they go into it, and I don't think they purposely do it, but they treat most small businesses, especially in black communities, they treat those small businesses as a hustle. Even they treat it like even the boss himself, or even the person whose business it's not a real business. He's hustling. So I'm just hustling with him. You know what I'm saying? And because
that goes back to how we perceive things as African Americans.
Well, you know what? I don't think it's just African Americans that do that.
I don't know how any other dealings are with anybody else, but I can see that with us more so.
I can only talk about it through the construction field on that part because, you know what I'm saying, that's what I deal with. Hispanics, they don't treat their business like it's a hustle.
And I can even go any further with me having this. I'm officially my own boss with this contract I have. And you have some young people say, hey, yo, how can I get into that hustle that you got? I'm like, no, this isn't a hustle. This is my business. Well, are you looking for someone? And in my mindset, and I hate to say this, I wouldn't want you with me because you're going to treat it as a hustle. You ain't gonna nobody's going to give the attention you're going to give to things that you own. Like you gonna give it. So I understand that. But I want somebody that's motivated and want to have their own too. I don't want you to treat what I got going on as a hustle. So therefore, I would overlook you in that aspect. You know what I mean?
I mean, speaking from y'all angles, because I got to
Wow.
because it was a lot going through my mind, and I was trying to not to spit it all out at once. But
I thought you were doing something like that.
Listen to the both of y'all. It sound you both are speaking from a boss's perspective. You're speaking from somebody who's had someone under you before. You know what I mean?
I've had somebody under me before.
What happens when you have a show full of guys?
Juggle the balls.
Right.
Gargle.
There,
Call it gargle mail.
I think that there isn't enough credit being given to the ones that are doing the right thing that have been under you. You know what I mean? I think that
Well, she get credit all the time.
no, I think that what you're saying is okay because you just basically said that most of the black people that you have under you don't really treat the job as a job. They treat it more so as a partnership, from what I'm gathering.
Or a semi-partnership. Because it's only a partnership when it's time for money to be paid.
Or you got it right. They treat it as a job.
No, they don't treat it
It's
like
a different. No, it's the difference between a job and the place that I feel that I can come to
No.
and
Job
make
and
and make
career,
and make it
that's
bigger.
what it is.
Yeah.
No, they don't treat it as a job or a career. They treat it as a hustle. It's not a job because even at a job, there's a certain level of respect you give that job. Even if you don't like the job, even if you hate your job,
And they got a dress code. You gonna come?
you
in
still
dress
give
code.
that job a certain level of respect. You still on that job, get to that job on time.
Yeah.
You still put in whatever hours that you're supposed to put in there. You know what I'm saying? You still make sure the jobs get complete.
Okay, I give you that.
When it's that small business that you come to, you know what I'm saying, where it's actually they okay, like I say, I can really just talk from the contractor, like that small black contractor in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? They're going to get there late if they get there at all. They're going to want you to pick them up. They're going to want you to feed them. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to want to put gas in your car. Then when it comes there, they have enough nerve to even ask you how much you charge for this job.
Well, I think that you are just a poor judge of character.
I wouldn't say I'm a poor judge of character. I would say at some point, you know what I'm saying, you try too hard to be Robin Hood.
Well, then in that sense, then you should be the one taking the fault for that.
I do. I take the fault all the time for that.
Because you like the battered woman. Like you attract all men that beat on you. You attract men that hit women.
Well, no, I get sent the men that hit on the woman.
You get
You know what I'm
pimped.
saying? I get pimped. You know what I'm saying? They one of those, Vale needs some help. Vale needs some help. Can you help him out? I get sent that. You know what I'm saying? You get sent that. And then the thing is, when you really love your people, you know what I'm saying? When you really are racist, as I am, you know what I'm saying? And you
Right.
want you want the betterment of your race, you're going to give them a chance. Okay, you know what? Let me give them a try.
Well, you know what? I think there's a difference in actually wanting to help your people and understanding when you can't help someone that doesn't want to be helped.
Because they don't have an education.
I'm good at firing people.
Yeah, you're good
Education.
at firing people, but I mean, say
Oh, we know you're good at firing people. You can't be an asshole and not fire motherfuckers.
well, my thing is if you're gonna be okay, you're gonna say you want to help your people. I've been around you for a very long time, so I know you prejudge people, and you know that within the first 20 to 15 minutes that they're there, whether or not that person's going to work out with you.
Yep.
Why not sever your ties then and not have to wait 2-3 months down the line or 2-3 weeks down the line, and you're like, damn, I got this dead weight on me, but I want to help my brother out, and you know your brother not trying to help you out. It's a hand-in-hand thing. You know what I mean? Like if I'm providing a place for you to make a living, why wouldn't you give me the same respect to make sure that I keep the jobs coming in? If I'm having you on the site and you're working the site, you're a representation of me. So if the product that you put out is shitty, that falls back on me. So now I don't have another job to put you on. So if you're not gonna give me that respect to treat my jobs right, why am I gonna keep you around?
Amen, brother.
Yep.
I'm posing this question to you.
Yeah, and also,
You keep them around too long.
what is their education?
You know,
Education doesn't really play a part in that.
Okay.
Education doesn't play a part in it. What happens in the construction trade is you place people on where they fit in. If it's a person he can't read a tape measure, then he pushing a broom. There's always something to be cleaned up, always something to be picked up, always something that needs to be held. You know,
That would be me.
what usually happens. What usually happens with the ones who make good employees, they don't stay around as good employees because it's so easy to be a contractor in Chicago. Once somebody comes in and you teach them a little bit, they think they know a lot, and now they run off and they got their own business. So, sometimes
Sound like that happened to you before.
it happens a lot. Then the thing you have to do, so now you wind up keeping the ones who are not worth your time to keep because you have to have a crew on the site. You cannot do the whole job by itself. And sometimes what will happen is you'll get into a job and the only ones left are the ones who are shit employees. Because the ones who are worth anything, guess what? I'm saying they learned something last month and now they think they're a contractor themselves.
so you get a lot of guys that basically want to crawl before they walk. Or walk before they crawl.
Who want to fly before they crawl. You get a lot of that. I mean, and then it leaves sour taste in some people's mouth because they cannot finish a job. So that's, I don't know how deep we want to go into business here, with especially with contracted business. But you get a lot of that, whereas people who thought they knew what they were doing will get into a job and leave the customer high and dry because that's why I say you have to have that business class because you have to know how to quote it. You have to know how to quote a job.
Well, I mean, a lot of people kind of get in too deep.
Yeah.
A lot of people have a lot of things going on and take on more than they can handle.
With construction, I think the reason that black contractors have a bad name is not that a lot of people had got in too deep. I don't say it's not that they took on more than they can handle. What it was is it's rough to price a job when you don't know how. Because you know how to install drywall and finish it and paint it. It's the same thing I was saying about a person who bakes the cookies. You don't know the business skeleton, so you don't really know the correct way to price your job. So now you know a sheet of drywall might cost $6 or $10 a sheet. So what you gonna walk in the room and say, oh, I only need 15 sheets in here, so that's $150. I'm gonna charge them $150 for the drywall, and then I can do it in a day or two. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna charge them $200 to put it in. So you're gonna tell them you can go in there and do that room for $350.
Okay.
Once you start that room, now you're gonna realize, wow, okay, it's gonna take me a whole day to hang this drywall. Then I gotta come back tomorrow and tape and mud this drywall. Then I gotta come back the day after that and sand it. Then I gotta come back after that and skim coat it. And then I gotta come back after that and paint it. And then if they see any imperfection, I gotta fix that again. So now you charge them $200 because you thought you was gonna be over here a day, which now you're over here for 7 days. So after the second day, when you realize I'm not gonna be able to finish this, you don't come back. But you got the $200 or you got that deposit that you got for them, and now you never come back.
But that goes into a whole nother measure of legal issues.
It does, but you have to realize too, consumers are ill-informed also. So you get a lot of customers who don't have the correct paperwork, or they don't check your credentials. There are not as many legitimate contractors as you think.
No, I can attest to that.
There are a lot of people who are telling you that they're licensed and insured.
But
Or
nobody has.
I'm sorry. They're telling you that they're licensed and bonded.
Okay, what do you mean when you say bonded?
Bonded, a quick tutorial.
Say education right now.
When somebody tells you they're licensed and bonded, they have just told you a lie. Stop talking to them.
Okay, why?
Because they don't know what it means.
What does
Most
it mean?
time when a person, it is true you can be bonded. What a bond is your insurance company puts up a certain amount of money in whatever community that you're in to basically put up against the work you're doing. So me, I'm licensed in the city of Chicago. I'm licensed and insured. The correct phrase is you're licensed and insured. When I go to do any work in Dalton, what has to happen is I have to go to the city of Dalton, register my license with them, and then call my insurance company. And my insurance company will put up a bond in Dalton for whatever amount that Dalton requires. Most of the time it's around $30,000, maybe $60,000. What that bond does is if I come into your house and I screw up the work, you don't lose your money.
So the bond and pay that back, like insurance, they'll pay that back.
Basically, and that's what it is. But you'll get people, and that bond only lasts for a year.
So you have to keep.
So every year when I come back out there, wherever you go, you have to rebond.
Okay.
So that's why you see people, they tell you all the time, oh, I'm licensed and bonded.
Licensed bonded, but you hear the commercial. I'm licensed, bonded, and insured.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now, the insurance company is what's bonded. You're licensed and insured. So
That's good education. See, I wouldn't, if I wanted to be, I would have had to learn that.
That falls into what I said though. You get that one-on-one with that businessman, you learn more. You sit in the seminar room with another 40 people. You know, you feel like you. A lot of people will get in those meetings and feel like, why did I come here?
a lot of people will, because the thing is, most of what you're going to learn in that basic meeting is common sense. You're going to sit and say, I already knew that. But guess what? Before that meeting or before that seminar, if you were asked those questions, you probably would flake on them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not nothing that's at the forefront of your mind. Until somebody starts to say it, and you're like, I knew that already.
It brings it into the, like I said, to the forefront.
It brings it to the front of your
Just
mind.
like I went to one of those I don't even know if I even told you this a while back. One of those Johnny Woo seminars. Like, you can do that. Like, you can do that too.
It.
Like, you can do this too. You know, Johnny Woo or whatever his name was. And I'm being so stereotypical with that. And he was just talking about wealth and what's that person? I think he was saying you don't make money by saving it.
You don't.
Right? You have to constantly invest if you want to keep making. But he was saying some stuff that was common sense, but you would, like you said, you'd be like, oh, okay, I do something like that. Like, you gotta make, like you said, just to throw out something to make. You got to spend money to make money. And how you gonna make money when you saving it?
Just what you just said. I think a lot of people, along with the credit class and business class, people need to take a finance class.
Our bank offered that. Even the people that were doing our loan, because we got on this little thing that's called where you have to put $1 in for each week of the month. But we went to a class, but that wasn't the class. We went to a financial class, but they just gave us that if you want to do it or not. But the guy actually spoke a lot about paying yourself,
which is the first thing you're supposed to do when you get paid.
When you get paid, setting aside a certain amount and living. Sometimes, if you want to get to a certain place with money, you gotta learn how to live below your means. Sometimes. Like, if you used to spending a lot.
I don't think. Yeah. I think you'll respect it more when you actually respect the struggle. And especially if it's a goal that you're trying to get. Like, I don't want to say you have to live below your means, but you cannot exceed your means. You cannot go above whatever your budget is. You can, and like, you have to really be strict and firm on that. Like, I don't want to say like you got to downgrade. I don't believe in that. Like, for me, I would have to, because I know me. Oh, I don't think you would have to downgrade, but what you have to do is respect the grind. You have to respect the grind, and not to say the minute you get a little bit, you know what I mean, then you go all out. But you know how we are. It's nigga Christmas. When you get a little bit, that's nigga Christmas. Well, this is the thing. I think Negro Christmas. I think that inside of all of us, when you really, we go back to what I was saying earlier, when you really want something, you're gonna do whatever it takes to meet your goal. So if your goal dictates that you must put aside, like with us right now, any money that we make is going back. It's going back into the business, so to continue to grow. Into the business, so we can grow. We want to push out the best possible product. So whatever it is, like we doing this right now for free, and it's going to continue to be free till we can till we actually have enough to pay ourselves and continue to put out the product, or a better product, I should say, than what we're pushing out now. You know, so I think investing in ourselves, and it's funny because a lot of our shows we kind of piggyback off of previous shows, but investing in ourselves and respecting the grind is probably the most important thing. Now, with what you just said, don't you think we need to have a course, or you need to have a course? Because some people don't understand what that is.
investing in yourself or investing in whatever it is that you're trying to do. Some people have that. You hear that, but say the average Joe, like, how do I do that? You need a course for that. You need, I wouldn't say school, but you need to learn how to do something.
I think that's not a course. That's just
I think that's common sense.
But you may think it is, but it's not. It's not.
It's common sense, but it's you have to take the fear out of it, because it's not a course. It's just a statement that you need to just live by to invest in yourself. A lot of people won't do it because they're afraid of everything else. We have grown to be afraid of the bill collector. You know what I'm saying? We're afraid of.
Don't answer that phone.
We owe everybody money. You know what I'm saying? And we'll pay all of them first, because all investing in yourself is the simple thing of paying yourself first, consistently. Not when I got a little extra now, or not. It's consistently paying yourself first.
And that's my issue. My problem is sometimes like I pay myself a little later here. Let me
but guess
and
what?
That's a problem
You'll pay
myself.
AT&T.
You're right.
Consistently.
You're right.
You're gonna pay ComEd consistently. You know what I'm saying? You'll pay Comcast consistently before you pay yourself. What you'll do, if your check is $200 a month, a week. If you're $200 a week, out of that, you don't have to go balls out and pay yourself. You don't have to go, $100 got to come to me. You got other things to do, but there should at least be 10% of that.
Should come to you at least.
10%. You should pay if you got $220 supposed to come to yourself every week. If you don't do nothing but put it in a cookie jar. 10% of whatever you bring in. It's almost like going to church. People, you pay your tithes consistently. You give an offering consistently at church. Everybody gets paid except for yourself. We ain't buying
the preacher airplane.
He gonna get that airplane?
We ain't buying him a private jet.
He gonna get that jet. You know why he gonna get that jet?
Why?
Because he invests in himself, and the church invests in him. We don't invest in ourselves, and we'll say it's because we don't know how.
You know what, guys, and I don't want to get off the business subject because it's really, really good. But as far as that, I do want to talk about that.
What, the preacher?
Yes. And here is what I want to talk about.
Preaching is business.
How many people do you think are in his congregation that are unemployed?
Creflo Dollars, I'm going to be honest with you.
I would say maybe 5%.
Yeah, I've never been to this church, so
I've never been there. I've seen it on TV, and I've just often. The thing is, what I think about most mega churches like that, they
got people. They
congregate. There are unemployed people in there. So there are people who fall no hard times, but they attract affluent people.
Mm-hmm. But it would be safe to say that there are people there that it's pretty much known that they're unemployed.
I'm pretty sure somebody knows. I don't know if the pastor himself knows, because with those churches that are that size, he doesn't know everybody.
He doesn't know every member. I'm sure he doesn't know. But I'm
pretty sure somebody on his ministry board knows
that someone or some people are there that are unemployed. What makes more sense to you? To start a GoFundMe for your congregation members that are unemployed, or to start a GoFundMe for a fucking airplane?
For your members
that are unemployed?
Yeah, he did.
He did?
Yeah, he did.
I thought he just got up in the pulpit and asked.
No, it was a GoFundMe.
Really?
They hurried up and took it down after.
Oh, okay.
But but within an hour they had raised $60,000.
Yeah, that was the same $60,000 they're gonna raise at church when he asked to pass that.
You know why he did it do that? Because it was seen non-controversial.
Oh. Okay.
If he did a GoFundMe. But it's funny thing about it, after the episode of Empire came on yesterday, and Lucius gave.
People didn't see it.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But and then to answer your question, the common sense of it would be to help out, because that's what the church is supposed to be for. But that's the same thing with a lot of organizations now. There is really no real give back.
To me, and it kind of goes back to a previous episode when we spoke about pastors and getting whatever it is, however big their congregation is, their payment being reflecting that. I don't believe that him, in this instance, that showed me that he's out for self.
Yeah. Because he was actually even complaining like, "Oh, is it wrong for me to have a jet?" But it wouldn't be wrong if the congregation could fly on that jet.
I don't give a damn if the congregation can fly on it or not. There's no way that you're going to tell me you're going to ask complete strangers in your congregation to fund a freaking airplane, and you won't look inside your own church to make sure that these people's bills are being paid.
Check this out.
Help them out.
This gonna make
your
you even
own
upset.
brother.
This gonna make you even upset. He said because his original one is older now.
Well, actually, the original one had engine problems.
Engine problems.
While they were flying, the engine kicked out on them while they were in the air. They just had a great pilot to bring it in.
I could give 2 squirts of horse piss why you need a new airplane.
I like that too. Squirts of horse piss.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not on the
He
side
had to go
of
to the
him in this
Clearport.
new airplane. But I believe there are a ton of organizations that are out, especially as not-for-profit organization, that's supposed to give back to the community.
Well, no, I want to pick on him because he the one that had the balls to go out and start a GoFundMe for a fucking jet.
At the Clearport.
A jet.
At the
Not only
Clearport.
do you ask your congregation this, but you ask a bunch of ignorant ass people to help you with this.
To help you get what?
A
He
fucking
only-
jet.
he only
Not a helicopter.
He only asked for $300.
A jet.
$300 a person.
Not a
So
helicopter.
you need 200,000 people to
jet.
give him $300.
$300 a person.
Yeah.
And he started a GoFundMe for it.
Yeah, he started to GoFundMe.
I don't know if it was exactly GoFundMe, but he
No,
started
it was
one of those
GoFundMe.
crowdfunding. I don't know if it was GoFundMe or Indiegogo or whatever. It was a crowdfunding. He started a crowdfunding. I don't know.
Page.
Campaign.
There you
Listen,
go.
I told you a long time ago you can't trust a man named Creflo. He a preacher.
Creflo
Creflo $8.
Dollars.
Creflo $8.
I mean, like that didn't. And what's really alarming is that didn't strike an alarm in any of the media's head. Why is this man asking for all this money for a fucking airplane?
No, it was. That's why it was in the media.
No,
When it got
no. I mean, why wasn't this brought up? The fact that there are people that I'm pretty sure are unemployed in his church who don't know how they're gonna get to the
Well,
next.
the thing about it is, it's not even the fact that unemployed. You got people who are employed who are living hand to mouth.
True,
You got people that are employed who still can't.
Like you said,
But this is my thing.
There's no
Even
more
if you're
poor.
employed,
no
and
more middle class.
even if you're employed in my church, yes, you're on our priority list. But first, we want to take care of the ones who don't have anything, the ones who are coming here for the ministry, the ones who are really following behind me, and any little bit that they get, they're putting into the church because they really believe the word that I'm kicking. So guess what? My job is to get back to the community. So those should be the first people that I go after. Those should be the first people that I help. I'm not saying that.
But what are we gonna help them with? We're not gonna just give them money. Man. We gotta
Why
teach
not?
Them, we gotta teach them, man. To
Give them a job.
I'm with
Give
that
them a
part.
job. Give them
I'm
a
with
job.
that. I'm not a. You know me. I'm not an advocate of just giving money to people.
But this is my thing. If you're gonna go beg for money, you should be begging for money for the people in your church.
I can agree with that.
So if you just gonna beg for money for an airplane, I don't see why we can't beg for money just to make sure Brother Johnson can find him a place to live, or to make sure that his stay in the shelter tonight is paid for, or whatever his situation is.
You gotta pay to go to the shelter.
Some shelters, yeah, you gotta go out, or you gotta go out and show that you've done some community service. So you gotta go out and get X amount of signatures for selling a streetwise or some shit like that.
I'm reading a little bit about the article, right? And the moment that he was scrutinized, one of the spokespersons from the church said, "Oh no, it's over with now. It was on GoFundMe." He's like, "No, we scrapped it now. He's not asking 200,000 of his personal friends and parishioners to fund this
He
$65
said
million.
he asking 200,000 of his personal.
Personal friends and parishioners
He don't know no damn 200,000 people.
in his church, probably. You know, he's the
he's
televangelist,
asking-
though. He's the televangelist. So
That
it's not
still
his
don't
friends.
make him his
that's
personal
not his, but
friends.
that's what they say. His personal friends
He's
and
asking
parishioners.
200,000
Thousand of his personal
People.
friends and
He's
parishioners.
asking 200,000 people
I
for
thought he was
$300.
asking 200,000 from his personal friends.
No.
No.
The plane is $65 million, so he
I
was
know how
asking them
it
much.
was. I know how much it was, but to me, if you're gonna be that ballsy to ask for $300 from everybody who's gonna donate,
Yeah, it's
to
300
buy
when you say-
a fucking plane,
What does few mean? 3, right? In the sense of money. Yep, they're asking $300.
you gonna buy a fucking plane when there's people in your home
It was
that aren't taken care of.
Wait
That
a minute.
makes no sense to me.
Wait a minute, it wasn't just a plane. It was a Gulfstream
Gulfstream
G65.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
G650. They only made 11 of them.
Only 11 of them. And come and go.
So not only do you ask for a jet, you ask for a rare ass jet.
It's rare. And the upkeep on that motherfucker is astronomical.
Yep.
At some point,
And it's a private jet.
Yeah.
so you have to pay for a
Your
fucking
own fuel. You got to
Yep.
pay for a pilot. I mean, the jet is right. The motherfucker nice.
And they said the reason they need to replace it so that the pastor and his flock may continue
Not
to
the
spread.
flock.
That's it.
Not the flock.
Yes, the flock may
No,
be able
no.
to.
Because see, the flock is
It's the congregation.
congregation.
But
They-
it could
he
be
has-
which
they,
part.
have, they have a name for his ministers.
Yeah, what do they call them? They're calling it the flock right now. Because they had the other plane for 30 years.
Yeah.
So they need to safely fly
Well,
across
they
the
didn't have it
world.
for 30 years. The
Well,
other plane
the other plane was 30
old.
years old plane. But so they needed it to safely spread the word of God.
because he too good to get his ass on a fucking commercial flight.
Yeah, you got to, when God tell you to go,
But
you
listen,
got to be able to go. You
believe
can't
it or
be trying to
not,
go
there
get
are
tickets.
still millions of people who have never heard the word of Jesus Christ. And they said, according to him, with that plane, he'll be able to spread that message like he has been.
If you don't believe in God, stories like this should make you believe. It really should.
Why would that make you believe if you don't believe?
Because
Stories
the
like
Bible
this,
said-
actually, stories like this is fuel for people. who don't
Non-believers?
believe. Yeah.
I don't agree because the Bible said that there are going to be a lot of false prophets. If this ain't a prime example of a false prophet, I don't know what is.
Well, listen to some of these tweets, man. I just got to read. I can give you a few of them. And one guy said, could you imagine if before feeding the multitude with 5 loaves and 2 fishes, Jesus set up a GoFundMe account to buy a plane? And then one person said, what did it
I
say?
ain't in all the comments.
It's just funny. Creflo Dollar needs $65 million for a new jet. So if he can spread the gospel, is the gospel that weak and can't endure word of mouth? But they're just trying to just say, all right, well, what is your justification, like you saying,
There is no
for that?
justification for it. You know what I mean? There is no justification for that. I don't care how you spin it. I don't care how many damn cities you need to touch. I don't give a damn. If the word is that important to you, it shouldn't stop you from getting your ass on a commercial flight. Fly first class. I don't give a fuck.
Hold on. Here go justification. I have 12 people to help me send 100,000 pounds of food on these international trips to help feed the people.
What?
He needed the plane more so for him and his 12 crew members to take 100,000 pounds of food to feed the people that he's going out
So he
and giving the world.
with his 12 disciples.
I'm not buying
Doesn't
that
sound
shit, man.
Which is I don't think the magnitude, but he has done that before. But I don't
I'm
know.
not buying that. So every time you go on the flight, you taking 100,000 pounds of food. Get the fuck out of here, man. What the fuck kind of food do you take me for, Creflo? Tell that bullshit to somebody else, man.
Hey,
To them people that you didn't brainwash and they give you $300.
you don't trust the ex-pimp?
The fuck
I don't know
out
if
of
he
here,
asked
man.
for it. I'm just saying.
I'm not buying that shit. That story right there really pissed me off. When I read that, I really was pissed off when I read that. Because
I read
that
it. I
type of shit,
dictated it.
the people that like, how could you have that much gall? That makes no sense to me.
I mean, I don't even see it as gall.
You know why? I don't even think it's that. They've been paying for him ever since.
I mean,
So he got that thing. All right, I
that's
can
an
just ask.
entitlement.
Yeah. They've been paying for it since.
Last year alone, his church, just his church last year, brought in $65 million.
Bad playing with that shit.
He can't. Because he still got to go through the bylaws. But he's actually in trouble.
No,
That's the one that's in trouble with the money and all
No,
that.
they're looking at all of the mega churches. He's not really in trouble.
But you know, he been in trouble like the last few years because
He
of
had
this
got
money.
some, but the thing is, that's why they put out the amount of money his church made last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the fact that he's in trouble. They're trying to find a way, you know what I'm saying, to make some of these pastors be in trouble over the money that they take in and how they're spending the money. At the end of the day, there's really no checks and balances on it. You know what I'm saying? They're not for profit, and all of the money that they get is their salary from the church, and it's
Right.
just they got lucky enough to have these big, huge churches. You know what I'm saying, whereas they
But they got
bring
this
in,
astronomical
bring
amount
in
of
all
money.
those type of donations and tithe, and you're entitled to a percentage of that as your salary.
Yeah,
So
now that's in the Bible. Like you're supposed to pay your preacher and all that stuff like that. But he get paid through the tithes and all.
So is there anything in the Bible that restricts your preacher from begging for shit for a flight?
nope.
Well, I don't think it was airplanes in there at the time.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the Bible that it speaks on as far as the future, right?
As in, what do you mean?
Just things that
That are gonna come to pass?
But they speak on that as far as like false prophets and about when Jesus come and how the 1,000-year reign and things like that. Not so much as far as
Airplanes. I don't think they
look,
talk
like
about
not. I
airplanes.
ain't gonna say nothing. But as far as I see what you're going into.
Said, I don't think he talk about airplanes.
obviously
Okay.
Pills and
Obviously,
potions.
he didn't mention the Wright brothers and that shit.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So
I think you want to look in the book of Nostradamus. He did say a man will fly in an iron bird.
Nostradamus predicted a lot of things that was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying, he also predicted a lot of bullshit too.
Yeah.
Because Nostradamus the one that killed us at the millennium. You know what I'm saying? And I think he killed
No,
us
that was
again.
that old white preacher that said, remember last October, the sun was supposed to cross the moon
Yeah, that
on
was-
eclipse.
That was
and
2
we
years
supposed to
ago.
go.
It was supposed to be the rapture.
Right. So I mean,
Then he said, I apologize. Then his wife came on TV and said he got Alzheimer's.
It was one of them old niggas had got away with like $75 million.
That was a different guy.
yeah,
that
it was a different guy. Yeah.
And he told everyone because he said, give me all your world. He was like this, give me all, praise the Lord. Give me all your worldly
you know what?
possessions.
I ain't even mad at him. He's stupid enough to give him
Send him all your money. He deserved to say.
I'm upset that I didn't jump on with him. You know what I'm saying?
He was gonna be that one. Praise God.
Honestly, you know what? I never
Just
thought.
the-
Big preacher.
I never thought I would say this, but that is actually money that I wouldn't take.
Huh?
I wouldn't take that money.
What?
If I was involved in that shit, like if there was no way that if I'm on his board, I'm gonna okay that. You're not getting my yes for that.
He ain't got a board. That's him.
There was no way that I could not take that money from
Oh, you
him.
talking about Creflo?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you talking about for the plane?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were talking about that 75
right,
million.
the other guy was by
Are you
himself.
crazy?
He said he's like, praise the Lord. Thank you. Give me all of your godly possessions.
He's like,
Praise
the world's
Lord
coming
Jesus.
to an end.
The
Y'all
world
don't
is
need
coming
none of
now.
this, you know what
You
I'm
don't
saying?
need any of that.
The
Give me
Lord
that.
wants you to come to his bear.
Yep,
Just
he's
give
like,
it to
give
me.
me that PlayStation. Give me those flat screen TVs. Praise God.
Nobody
It's
stopped
coming.
to think, why the fuck
Why
is
you
he
need my
leaving?
shit?
Right,
If
why
we
you
all
need me?
leaving, what the hell you gonna do with it?
Man, sent to me. I should have been right behind him. Yes. Yes.
You would have went right there with
Yes. Speak, preacher. Yeah. Him coming in the Honda.
him. We get the money and we're gonna fund it. We're gonna be there.
But I mean, with Creflo, I guess it's not such a big deal with me because of the fact of the matter is, first off, I took it as entertainment because of all the mega preachers that you have now. You know what I'm saying, and with them being cast in the spotlight, so he just wanted the many. To me, I don't take it with.
You just take it with a grain of salt.
Basically, because I'm not finna send you $1 anyway. And I'm waiting to see people who do send you $1 so I can either laugh at it or I can sit at home and shake my head and say, damn, I should have been a preacher.
I don't say that.
I do.
I don't play with God like that.
I'm not playing with God either. But that's how I feel about it. I'm like, man.
You're in the wrong profession.
I'm in the wrong profession.
And it is a business.
I'm in the
It
wrong
is a
profession.
business. They have
Be
bookkeepers.
fixing your soul, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to get $1 out of a person to go in there and you building the Taj Mahal for them. They don't want to pay you for it. But he tell you, hey, Jesus gonna bring you out that rut. You know what I'm saying? As long as you give me 10% of what you made yesterday.
We've been trying to get this dough fixed in the church for years.
Saying,
But I went on got that new Escalade.
what they do is take the building fund and make they pay for a sign to be posted on the lot and say coming soon, our new site. And
I've
look at that
seen
sign
that.
over there, you know what I'm
Have
saying?
you seen that before?
We
I've
keep
seen it at
taking money in the
churches.
building
You
fund.
see that in churches for 2-3 years.
It just be there. They don't even go cut the grass on the damn
Coming
lot.
soon.
Coming soon. The new Trinity.
The only church I've seen actually do that and actually make good was that church on 95th and Ashland.
They
When
had
they
no
used to be the
choice.
movie theater.
Yeah.
And they built that whole new building next door. That's the only one I
But
can
guess why they
honestly say
built
I've
that whole
seen.
new building? They built that
Yeah,
whole new
almost
building so
falling
they can
apart.
get more people in, so now we can get more money.
And then they can bullshit.
Yeah. It's all about getting a bigger church, because guess what? If I'm a pastor, if I start off in that storefront, I'm starting off. My whole thought process is to get to a bigger spot, so I can have more members. I can tell everybody I'm winning more souls to Christ, but I can make more money.
You seem like the way you're speaking on this, it's like you actually thought about this.
I have. I ain't lying. I have.
That has proved my point further about you.
What?
You
That I'm
ain't
innovative?
shit. You ain't shit.
Why is it that I'm not shit because
I ain't
shit.
Why is it that I ain't shit?
You ain't shit.
You ain't sitting there saying
You praying-
Creflo ain't shit.
Oh, he ain't shit.
You
either.
ain't saying Dietrich ain't shit.
Listen.
The one little preacher taking
Listen.
the pistol over into the community.
What?
What's the little nigga look like one of the whispers?
Oh, you talking about the one in California?
There you go.
Oh yeah, he did take it. Ron Gibson, Ron G.
But I ain't shit. You know what I'm saying?
He said that motherfucker look like one of
At
the
least I
whispers.
will give them the correct word.
He gave him the correct word too.
I don't know, man.
He
I
said,
ain't-
"Peace be still."
I'm gonna give him a piece of steel.
Damn. Hey,
thought about
don't
it.
talk about Ron Gibson. That's the OG.
Ron, I ain't talking
Gibson.
about you. I want him to show up in Chicago with that 4-5.
Ron Gibson, the old Crip, man.
Exactly. He might come riding down here with some of the Crips.
In Chicago.
Hell yeah. You
I doubt
bring him in tow. I mean, like I said, I try not to, I don't want to act like I'm down on religion, like I don't believe. Like I said, I do believe in a higher power. It's just the fact at some point when there's so much man into how you're supposed to get there, it's rough. You know what I'm saying? And even though we would left a manuscript on how to get there, it's hard. It's hard to believe in the Bible unless you are just. I mean, you know, I was told when I was younger that an educated person is the word is hidden from an educated person.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
That's what it tells you.
Yeah.
The word is hidden from an educated person.
Yeah, well,
And that's because we use our knowledge or we
Education.
use our common sense or whatever to decipher what's in the Bible. We start asking questions that people who are uneducated from what they say won't ask. So if we get into the Bible, like the very first contradiction, you know what I'm saying, is that Adam and Eve were the only people on earth. And then they had Cain and Abel. And I think did Cain kill Abel or Abel killed? You know,
Cain killed Abel.
Cain killed Abel, and then he left and went off somewhere else and then married somebody. Who the hell did he marry?
If this just them.
Adam and Eve were the only one here. They only had 2 kids, Cain and Abel. Cain whacked Abel. Okay, now there's only 1 kid left. Adam and Eve still here. Cain got to get out of here because he whacked his brother. He go over to the hills. Now he married. And he done had all these kids. And then guess
God
what?
made him a wife.
But they don't tell us that. I'm with you on that, okay? You know what I'm saying? God provided for
No,
him.
I'm just saying that's.
I'm saying, but there's a lot left to your imagination. I'm saying there's a lot left for you to decipher in there. But if there were things that's taken out or removed, or we're not told the whole story. So, but when you tell me a half a story now, and then what am I supposed to believe in? What
You
you?
supposed to blame King James for that.
Well,
LeBron?
No,
no, he's
not
talking about
that
Harden, King James
one.
Harden.
No, not that one.
I'm saying that crossover, he does step back, he got fucks a lot of people up. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like I say, it's rough to kind of just jump right in and just be, I mean, a total supporter of the Bible. It's rough to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I can take a quote out the Bible to uphold me and my bullshit any day.
Well, I honestly believe like the Bible that we have, most people have, like the King James version is not the truth. You got it unless you read the Dead Sea Scrolls or the actual Hebrew Bible. And in my opinion, that's how you would know.
But I think it's gonna be the
what's going
same.
on. But it's various differences in the Hebrew Bible because it's certain things are omitted from the King James version. You got to think about it.
Yeah, there were books
King
taken
James
out.
version.
Yeah, there were books.
So
taken
it's
out.
like, do we really know the whole truth?
Hell no. And you can't. First off, how can you know the whole truth when nobody was there? Nobody
Somebody
was
was there, but
Nobody
not nobody in our
here.
lifetime.
I'm saying nobody was. So now this is all hearsay. This is like that test they do in school when you're saying they walk up to one kid and tell him something in his ear, and then
See
he's
how
supposed
the roller
to
starts.
he's supposed to repeat it to everybody else. And by the time you get to the
See
other
how
kid,
much has
you
changed.
start over here like I want a pair of white Jordans, and by the time you get over here, you got corn on the cob on the barbecue grill is good.
How'd you come up with
You know what I'm
that?
saying? Exactly. That's what you get.
Damn.
You know? And,
That
but
sounds good right now because I
that's-
can't have it.
that's basically what you get with the Bible. It's
Yeah,
all-
I eat chicken.
It's all
Michael Jackson was from Puerto Rican.
I got out my left hand nipple. I just make my feet stink.
I can make a
You
bullet talk.
say steak. Pick it up. but it's
shit was
subjective.
different as
You know
hell.
what I'm saying? So I mean, it's rough. It's rough. And then they tell you, hey, you're supposed to read the Bible and get your own understanding. So I mean, to be a believer is hard. It tests your faith. My thing is, like I said before, I mean, everybody needs something to hold on to get you through life.
Yeah.
That's what I honestly believe. So I mean, and the thing is, if it comes to the end of my days and you find out that it was a total story, you know what I'm saying, that we all came from the Big Bang Theory, there's no man upstairs pulling the string, at the end of my life, if that's what I find out, guess what? It's not going to hurt me. Because, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it helped me get through. It helped me to keep my sanity. You know?
So here's my question to you. If you get through the end of life and you believe that there is a higher power, do you believe in a particular higher power?
You mean like Buddha and all that like that?
I believe God. I believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God. You know, and I believe the way to heaven is through Jesus Christ.
So if you do get through life and there is no God, but the actual higher power is Allah.
Well, Allah is
I believe
different
Allah
name
is the
for
same as
right.
God.
It's just another name for God.
The name Allah, from what it came, it's the same as God. What it is a Muslim name to make one feel close to God. What Allah stands for is the human body: arm, leg, arm, head.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What you hear most of them say is Muhammad.
Right.
But then they say all praise Allah.
All praise
Allah
Allah.
is just another word. Like Yahweh is another name for Jesus. And all that type of stuff like that. That's all it is. Just different names.
Okay, so maybe Buddha.
Buddha would, like, when you say Buddha and
All
Allah,
of
they're
them-
like, gee, they supposed to be like the
All of the
Jesus.
names that you're gonna get from other civilizations, all of them mean God.
Right.
Basically, at the end.
Well, except
Buddha is
Buddha.
God.
Buddha and Muhammad on there is like the Jesus role.
Right.
They play the role
Those
of like
were the
Jesus.
messiahs.
Messiahs.
Those are the messiahs. The only time you will get any differences is you go to Greek gods,
Mythology and all that.
Roman gods, 'cause then,
Zeus,
Egyptian
Wonder Woman.
gods, because now there are more than one
Shazam.
in their deities. You know what I'm saying? You have our actual hierarchy of the gods.
Yeah.
But once you get down to religion as a, I would say New Age religion, I guess, it's all one God that they're serving now with their own Messiah in it. It's just
So why are the teachings different?
the teachings, because they're different religions still, but they're all teaching of what they believe in God. And so everybody has taken their own interpretation, I guess, now of a certain thing, and now have changed it over into for their culture.
But at the end of everything is like God is merciful. Allah is a merciful God. Or it still comes into the same as you seek salvation in Him. He will open arms. Anybody can come to Him.
I think the thing about with Buddha though, there's more so of a heaven on earth thing.
Yeah.
Saying living in peace and harmony with the world, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think Buddhism, I'm not exactly sure, but I don't think Buddhism actually teaches a heaven that you go to. I think it's one of the things, returning to earth once it's done, that you just done. You know what I'm saying? Like your soul is actually dispersed.
And they believe in
throughout the universe.
reincarnation, like Ganesha and all that.
Right,
Indians
'cause
and
you-
whatnot.
I
So-
was just about to say, we probably can save this topic for next week, but do you believe in reincarnation?
It's the fact that I don't believe in it, but I want to believe in it.
I believe in reincarnation, and we've had a story.
Come
on
back as a
Earth.
fly.
No, as another human being.
Jesus.
No, I don't know if I don't remember speaking on this on air, but
No, we haven't.
maybe about a month or two ago, there was a story about a little white boy who he had been telling his mom about his life, and he was basically an older black woman named Pam, and he had been,
Why you got name Pam?
that was her name, Pam.
Oh, was she shuffling along?
And he told his mom everything about Pam's life, how she died, where she lived, she had children, everything. The mom didn't pay any attention to it. She kept asking him who he was, and she kept telling him that he was Pam. So mom actually did research and come to find out that everything that her son told her about Pam was exact.
How old was this boy?
He was like 7. There was
That
no
little
way.
nigga went on YouTube.
There was
and the
no
internet.
way he would have known.
My son know how to go through all that stuff. Same age almost.
There was no way. No, he was 7 at the time when they were telling the story, but when all of it happened, he was like 4.
Still, the nigga know how to get on the computer.
There was no way that this child would have known. He actually gave a description of how Pam died. Like, told him what she did. Her house had caught on fire.
I'm gonna look
and
this
she
up.
jumped out the window.
I'm gonna look this up. How you talking about her jumping out the window? I'm gonna look this up. That's actually interesting. I would like to actually read more about that.
That story makes me believe in reincarnation.
Now, what if you come back as a roach?
Then you're gonna be reincarnated again because your lifespan gonna be short.
Yeah. Even if they don't stump you, you gonna die.
Honestly, I don't believe that.
Even birds, they
I don't believe that.
pigeon's lifespan is what, 8 months?
I think if you come back as a roach, you still have some prior knowledge of what you were.
But
So you know you're a human. You know it's humans around. You ain't gonna come outside when them humans around.
No, I believe if I come back as a roach, I'm coming right outside. Cause I want to get this life over with. Start the next one, brother. Let me get my next quantum leap in. 'Cause this one here,
Look,
right?
all right, if you was a roach, if you came back as a roach, would you rather be raided to death, stumped to death, or just flushed in the toilet?
Hell no, stomp me. Rage, you gotta burn for 35 seconds and run around and kick up your feet and all that shit. Throw me in the toilet, I gotta drown first. And then a lot of fun. It's like the ocean. Stomp me out, man.
When you stomp them, you don't feel it.
Get
you
me
just
over
don't,
with
right?
quick. Hell no, you don't know nothing because that.
It's done. But that lid keep twitching though.
That because it moves on its own. You know what I'm
that
saying?
nerve.
That's like a snake getting cut. I'm still dead. The leg kick, I'm in my next body. You know what I'm saying?
He said, "Get it over with now."
Yeah, I'm
So
down
any
with it.
animal,
Not any animal. You know what I'm saying? I like
Any
I
insect.
come back as a lion or some shit like that. You come back as a lion, I'm kicking it for a minute.
yeah.
I'm kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Or a gorilla. I'm come back as sea.
Why would you want to be a gorilla?
Gorillas that shit, man. Them niggas, as long as I ain't getting at the, as long as I ain't at the zoo. Put me at the zoo, I'm throwing shit on everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Coolie high, motherfuckers.
I'm throwing shit on people.
Straight
You know what
coolie
I'm
high. And you gonna know that you used to be.
They probably gonna call me Smoke too. Stay away from the cage, Smoke in the mood today.
And you gonna be doing that dance and shit. The motherfuckers be doing
Man,
spinning.
you know what I'm saying? Spinning
Throwing
in a
shit.
circle with my knuckles on the ground.
Throwing shit.
I would love. If we had to be reincarnated as animals.
I want to be a fucking unicorn.
If you had,
So you saying you don't want to be reincarnated?
if you had a choice, that could be reincarnated.
Fly away.
If you had a choice of what you could be reincarnated as, would you want to come back as a human?
If I can come back with some semblance to some of the knowledge from my previous life,
Would you want to come back as a man?
hell yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 'cause I don't want no dude running up in me.
First thing.
You're a woman though.
I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? If I got any prior knowledge, that way I'm gonna come back. They're gonna say I was born gay. I came out like this. I like women. I don't like men no more.
So wait,
wait.
oh man, we could probably say this for another show. I'm just gonna throw this out here and we could just leave it at that. But could that be a reason why they say some people are born gay? Because maybe it was a woman that has been reincarnated as a man, or a man that's been reincarnated as a woman.
You have to first believe in reincarnation.
I believe in reincarnation.
Then that works for you.
We'll leave that there.
My God is an awesome God. He reigns.
We'll leave
from
that
heaven
there.
above.
Till we meet again. Till we meet again. See, I am in the church. God, y'all don't know how to close the
I
song
know
at
that
church?
We just can't
Nah.
sing.
Only church song I know
love
is
the
My
Lord. He heard me cry. Y'all don't know that song either? Oh my God, I'm surrounded by heathens.
Only
I ain't
church
say
song
nothing
Oh,
I
wrong.
know is Really Gonna Miss You, My Buddy.
Ain't that the funeral song?
Oh, I see what you did there. Oh, shit. I see what you did there.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Well, on that note, people, I think we're gonna sign out. Smoke, got anything you want to leave the people with?
Follow me. Everything is Focus One. FOECUZED. Focus One. That's at Gmail, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Xbox One. PSN coming soon.
Bobby.
Oh man, you can email me at fuckerrightinthepussy@gmail.com. No, I apologize. No, you can follow me on Facebook with the government, Daniel D. Jones. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Papa Ye, not papaya. That's PAPAYEA. And I did make a promise to some friends that helped me out. I was having some problems with my Animal Crossing. I needed some fruit, some money. And one person actually got online, actually two, got online and gave me over 2 million bells. I was able to make my house big again. I was able to get some fruit to plant around my
what the
city.
fuck are you doing?
And all that. So I wanted to shout out Annabelle for helping the brother out. I wanted to shout out James
This
for
nigga
helping the
taking
brother
money
out.
from kids.
So appreciate that. I'll be on there
Annabelle is a
tonight.
kid name.
No, it's grown.
You ain't got no grown women named Annabelle.
They grown.
Hell no.
No, they grown.
No.
That's a little
also,
white girl.
Did you know it? Did you fucking right in the pussy?
I'm not going to answer that. Also, appreciate everybody for tuning in to my live stream of
Oh my God, is he gonna hog
yes.
the spotlight?
of Resident Evil 1. I had over 400 people watching my gameplay, and that was awesome, man. Stay tuned.
Are you finished? Shit.
Oh yeah, I also gotta say, shout out to Bad Boy Records. Out here making our money out here. You know what I'm saying? No, quit. I was watching Tupac documentary the other day on California Love.
All right. Get this nigga away from the mic. You can find me on Twitter at IM_King_J. I'm gonna stop lying to y'all. The Facebook is coming. We just don't have a release date yet.
You still find some-
PSN King J 1113, Xbox Live King J 1987. I'm handing out dubs. Smoke got them. Nobody else won.
Don't act like you didn't get dubbed yourself.
Who?
You.
Who
Ow.
won our last game?
We ain't talking about that.
Shut up. This is my outro.
Go
You
ahead.
gave your information.
Do your thing, baby.
We out, y'all. Peace.
We got Noah at is
Lord
that's your
knows.
Instagram. The Instagram is his Twitter. His Twitter
His Twitter.
His Twizzler is at Lord LORDE_darkskin. That's at Lord LORDE_darkskin. His Instagram is King_Noah_. We got young Mello over here.
No, what is his name?
Cello.
Cello.
The Shocker.
I'm sorry. We got young Cello over here, and he is at. Just follow him at Lavish Life _King
Man,
S.
follow me on Twitter at lavish_King S.
That's what I said.
That's not
There.
what you said.
Follow the crew, y'all. Facebook is the Almost There Crew. Instagram, the Almost There Crew. Twitter, the Almost There Crew. The website is almostthereshy.com. The email is almostthereshy@gmail.
Hey, why you give him that?
gmail.com. If you have not followed us on Facebook, or you have not subscribed to us on YouTube or SoundCloud, what you waiting for, man?
And you gonna come back as a roach, and we gonna stomp on your ass.
Nah, you ain't coming back as no roach. You gonna come back as someone with some big ass ears, so you keep listening to the crew.
Why I thought you gonna say females with big ass titties.
Because you're a porn addict.
So, for those of you that have listened to us, you need to get in touch with your friends. So you know what's coming, right? Tell a friend. To tell a friend. To tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
Oh, you put a little extra on it, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right, people, we love y'all. Peace.